Welcome to Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California with your hosts Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting video worldwide at ParanormalCentral.net and broadcasting audio on the Dark Matter Network at ArtBell.com. Are you ready to witness something that you cannot explain?
I'm looking for you, you're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe the unexplained? Look into the sky.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from the bottom left-hand corner of the Nevada Triangle. Good evening everyone, my name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. I am your host for the show. I am also the founder of a group called the Sanger Paranormal Society. I have been investigating the paranormal going over 10 years now, so we're just not a talk show host, we're actually investigators, so can't say that we don't know what we're talking about, because we kind of do. It's not only myself here, but I have a team. I have a co-host who's to my right and is to your left, Alan Thomas.
Hi y'all, how you doing?
And womaning the board back in the dark corners of the studio at Paranormal Central, we have Emerald Bonilla.
I'm back.
I'm back. Thank you for showing up wherever you may be. If you are watching us on livestream.com, then you are looking at us right now. I am so sorry, but this is what we look like. If you don't want to see us, then you can go to the Dark Matter Network at artbell.com. Yep, you heard me right. Artbell.com is broadcasting us live audio worldwide on the Dark Matter Network. So you got two ways of catching this show. So don't say you couldn't find it, because it's there no matter what. It's there. Go and catch us, live video or audio. So, all right, we're gonna have a great show, just like we have every Sunday. We have, let's just say we have surprises. We have people calling in. You know what? We had a guest who was supposed to show up tonight, but he had something happen. He had to go to work, and that is William Stillings. I was looking very excited to have him on, because we've had him on several times before. But yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to get on here pretty soon, and we'll be able to get on him for about an hour and a half, and just pick his brains and all that stuff that you've heard about, you know, William Stillings and Mars and Visaggio and all that kind of good stuff. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and kind of get into it here. Again, thank you. If this is your first time, where have you been? You know, we've been doing this. Actually, I've been doing this show since 2007. Yeah, that's right. 2007. Started off in a little studio, a little tiny room by myself, trying to figure out how to do all this, and got the hang of it. And now we're at a point where, look where we're at now. Kind of cool, huh?
And they can only see a little bit of it.
A little bit of it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in a big studio. We're in a big studio here, guys. And for those who are listening to us for the first time, we're actually in a, massive studio where we're going to be shooting the actual TV show. And so we got a little bit of everything in here. So I can't wait for that. And we'll talk about that later on. But there you go. So, okay, at the beginning of every show, we have a person who thinks he knows a lot about Bigfoot.
Thinks he does.
I think he does.
Yeah.
Danny Valderrama, and I guess we can go ahead and get him on the phone, and Miss Emerald is going to go ahead and dial him in. And she's in La La Land over there. She's not feeling too good. She's and we'll get him on the line.
Got a bad apple tonight.
I did.
Yeah.
Did it have a worm in it? Did it have a worm in it?
No.
No? Why? Because it fell on the ground over there.
No, I don't know. All of a sudden, she took one bite and she goes, "I got a bad apple," and I started busting up. It was funny.
And so, Mr. Danny Valderrama, are you there?
Hello. I'm
Hey,
talking
Danny.
From Hawaii.
You talk what?
I'm in Hawaii.
You're in Hawaii, and
Yeah.
you better wake up because you're dreaming. Right? Yeah.
You also
up,
rode Santa's sleigh, right?
You're dreaming. I think everybody would. Nah, you know what? Hawaii, to me, I went there one time, and it really didn't interest me much. It didn't.
I've never been there.
No, it's now my wife, on the other hand, Cheryl Diane, whatever her name is, if she could move there in a heartbeat, she would. In a heartbeat. So maybe one of these days we're going to have to get a summer home there. If we ever make some money, we'll see what happens. But
Maybe she'll let you visit her.
yeah. You know what? Yeah, I can see that happening. All right. Mr. Danny, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah. So are you tired like me?
I'm tired.
Yeah. How many hours are you working a day?
Probably about 10, 11, maybe 12 sometimes.
Yeah, that's when yesterday I worked 12 hours, and today I was supposed to work 12 hours, but I got off 8 hours, and I'm hoping that they're not going to get me in trouble because, the show is really important. So, we're not making $1 million here, folks. Just because you see a freaking nice studio here doesn't mean we're making any money. So, I have to work overtime in order to provide this for all you guys. So,
Yeah, we did a lot of dumpster diving.
yeah. So, all right, Danny. Danny sent me over some photographs, and we're going to be looking at them right now on live stream. If you are listening to us at artbell.com, you can go over to their website at artbell.com, and right there on the homepage, you will see a link that says Paranormal Central. Click on that, and you will have some pictures that Danny's going to be talking about. And then at the second half of the show, we're going to take a break because this is a 3-hour show, and so we kind of need time. We don't have commercials here, guys. So at an hour and a half, we're going to take a 5 to 7 minute break, and we're going to take a little breather, come back, and then Heidi Hollis is going to be calling in, and we're going to talk to her about her information on ghosts and UFOs, and so she's our second reporter at the second half of the show. So right now we have Danny.
Actually, if anybody wants to buy commercials in that,
I never thought about that.
Email us off of our YouTube page and let us know that you want in and we'll advertise you during our break.
Right now, we are doing really well, you guys. We are being watched all over the world, and I am not joking. And
The government.
And the government. So,
Yeah, them too.
so yeah, if you want to purchase some commercial time here, video and audio, or just video, you let me know, and we'll make it happen for you. So, okay, let's go ahead and go over to the Sasquatch report for December the 14th, and let's go
12,
to
13, 14.
That was
today.
yesterday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, 12, 13, 14.
Today's 14?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Okay, so
yesterday.
it's 12,
What
14, 14.
Your day. So, all right. And we are now. Oh, yeah. I do. Yeah. Okay. This picture that just came up. Go for it. Number one.
All right, this first one has 2 pictures. It's from the Crypto Crew. It's dated December 9th, 2014. This is by Thomas Markham. He put out a call for Bigfoot sightings and UFO sightings, and he sent in this report. It's kind of an old report, but he's just getting around to reporting it because he happened to see this call go out for reports. His name is Rudy, and he emailed Thomas, and so Thomas has his contact information. It happened right here in California, not too far away from us, in the Kern and Kings County. It happened in the late summer of 1977, about 1 o'clock, and it was on Highway 41.
Now, that 1 o'clock in the morning or afternoon?
1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And it says between Avenal and Paso Robles. When I look on the map, it's like closer to between Kettleman City and Paso. And it was a 10-second sighting, and he had 5 witnesses with him. And they were coasting down a hill on Highway 41 going north, and they saw a car coming up the hill, and they saw the car suddenly hit the brakes, and they were expecting a deer to come shooting across the road there. Instead, they saw a huge, dirty, brown, hairy critter standing over the center line. And as he got closer, he had to hit his brakes, and when he did, he said the creature turned its whole body to face his car, and then it took 2 steps and was gone. He said they estimated the height about 8 to 9 feet tall. He said that it was in the White Canyon area of Highway 41.
Okay, White
cool.
Canyon. We go that route when we go visit the mother-in-law in Morro Bay. And right when you get off of Highway 1 and you start to go over the hill to Morro Bay, and there's a national forest campground right in there.
It's like a Atascadero. Is that what you're talking about?
No, actually, I don't even know what the city is. No, it's actually in the forestry area between the 1 and the 101. As soon as you get off the 101 and then you start to go over the hill, right?
That's a Atascadero.
Is that Atascadero? Okay.
And then you go from Atascadero to Morro Bay.
Okay. Then more close to Morro Bay, there is a campground in there. There was a Bigfoot sighting in there.
And there's loaded with poison oak.
There was a Bigfoot sighting in there, and I remember Cheryl was telling me about this. And but yes, so.
And there's a lot of deer out there too, because we've seen deer in the fog going down one of those highways.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, there's a deer in the road.
Yep,
yeah, but like where you're saying that's like desert.
Yeah,
there's no
kind of like desert. In
trees or
1977, who knows how many trees were out there? But near there is Parkfield, and we've been to Parkfield because that's right where the San Andreas Fault is, where the two plates come together. And there's plenty of trees there. There's like creeks down there, and all the trees that are in the creek there. So
I worked out there.
We've heard of desert squatches too.
Right.
They're around Edwards Air Force Base. So.
Yes, exactly.
1977, I worked out, or it was 76, 77. They built a fire extinguisher factory out there in the middle of nowhere, right? And I stayed in a motel in Paso Robles, but we would drive back and forth to that place. And there's big, giant oak trees, but they're not like a forest. You know what I mean? Mostly down in the creeks is where the trees were.
Yeah, that's where I've usually seen the trees, in the creek area. And we know they use creeks to get around, though.
Yeah.
Right on.
So that's our little highways.
It's very interesting that, people, and we keep telling you guys, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, they are not at the very top of mountains at 10,000 elevation. No, they are down low. And the reason why they come down low is because they want to move to new territories. Either they're, want more food, companionship. So they're roaming around. So, and this happens
in the summer, so they're probably looking for water too.
There you go.
Isn't there? I think if you go on BFRO, there's a sighting out there. It's not like that far
near
south.
Mendota.
Yeah, Mendota out in the slough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, then that's nothing but fields like cantaloupe and
there you go.
And stuff like that out there. I mean, and I know they're following the canal. They have to in the San Joaquin River.
Now, is Kalinga, they have I think a secret base up there in Kalinga, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, secret bases and military installations, and you have creatures like Bigfoot, man, and that's like, there's got to be a connection there somehow. So
probably escaped from the base.
There you go. So right on. All right, man. Oh, let's go to picture number 2. There's 2 pictures in this one, right?
Yeah,
right.
One just shows the map of kind of where it was, and then the second one is the area.
Well, that makes look at, there you go. This a dry creek, right? There you go. There is a dry creek right there. Shoot. Awesome. Okay.
Well, if it was like dirty brown, it could just lay down or squat down. It would look like a bush.
Yep. You're
from a distance.
Absolutely right on that. All right, going to picture number 3. Oh, picture number 3 didn't load for some reason. Sorry.
All right, it's just a picture of a huge house. This is from the Sasquatch Chronicles, dated December 1st. It's called Sasquatch in a Crate. And this is a story told to grandkids, a grandson and a granddaughter, by their grandfather. And he told them the story in 1991. He told them that he worked from the 50s to the 70s, he worked as a landscaper at the Duke Estates. And if you Google that, it's called Duke Farms. It's in Somerset County, New Jersey, in a town called Hillsborough. And the place is about 2,742 acre estate. And it's that big because they bought 40 farms around the area and just put them all together. And it has 20 miles of trails, 1,000 acres of walkable area, 11 international themed gardens. And it was home to one of the wealthiest women, Doris Duke, who at the age of 12 years old was a tobacco heiress, and she got a $300 million fortune. So she was living there. It was never open to the public, and it always remained a mystery to locals as what was behind the gates. And his grandfather said that he was in charge of manicuring the north lawn sections of the property, because they had different sections of the whole place because it was so huge. But he said in 1972, during a summer afternoon in August, he was told that he would have to work overtime that day because they needed him to receive a shipment that was coming in from Wisconsin. So they ended up rounding up 8 men to unload a crate that came in the middle of the night and they needed to offload it from the truck and take it into the garden area. And they told them that it was exotic trees. And when the crate came, it was about 8 feet tall and about 5 feet wide. So the men jumped up on the truck there and started to take it off the flatbed truck. And then as soon as they started pushing it, they heard a blood-curdling scream come from inside the box. So as they all jumped off the truck and, what the heck is in there? And the head groundskeeper said, "Oh, no, it's not trees. It's a black bear inside there," trying to keep it, whatever it was, a secret. And then most of the guys, except for 2, walked off the job, said that they didn't want to be mauled by no wild animal or anything. That's not what they signed up for, so they left, and including the grandfather, he walked off the job there. And only 2 men remained, and when they talked to the 2 men that stayed there that night, they told them that they had to get the crate off of the truck, and they used a dolly, and they dragged it into the garden compound. And as they were going into the garden compound, they dropped the crate, rolled off the dolly, and it cracked open on the side.
Great.
Yeah, and that's picture number 3. Picture number 2 was the crate, and then picture number 3 is what they saw inside. They said that when they looked inside the crate, because they could see it in the dark, and they shined a flashlight in there, they saw what they saw was the shape of a man, but it was nothing. It was not a man sitting in there. So it was kind of like sitting on a chair, kind of like a rocking chair type of thing. So they couldn't get a height estimate of it, and it was huge. And the frame, there was a huge frame on this creature, and it was covered in black hair, and it was strapped down. They could see shackles on its legs, its feet, its arms. So the face didn't look like a man, but it had some features of a man. The worker said it looked more like a monkey or a gorilla with long, dirty hair. And they said that when they looked up at him, and they said that it looked like it was trying to say words, but only drool was coming out of his mouth. Then they were under the impression that it was sedated, and because it couldn't keep its head up, it kept on resting on its chest. It would kind of like pick it up for a second, but it couldn't keep it up. And they saw an empty water bottle nailed to the side of the crate, like the tube, maybe feeding the creature while it was being transported. And they also saw an IV stand that was strapped to the other corner of the crate, and it was stuck into its arm.
Ew.
He said the odor was overpowering. It smelled like urine, waste, and body odor. And it was they didn't know. The grandfather was said that he stuck to his story, and even when he was getting ready to die, the grandkids asked him again if he remembered the story, and he said, "Yep." He said it happened just the way I said it did. He said, "But there's so much I left out." He said, "I didn't think you'd be able to handle everything that happened." He said, "But remember, I went back the next day, and I still worked there for 2 more years, so there's definitely more to the story." He said, "But I'll come back tomorrow, and I'll tell you the rest of it."
Oh.
And the grandfather died.
Oh, man.
Wow.
But this is an actual place. I looked it up, and it is a real estate. But if you Google it, too, there's plenty of stories about it. But what it was or what happened to it, nobody knows. Or nobody's talking yet.
Right.
And maybe because his grandfather talked, maybe the other guys will come forward. Because apparently there was 8 of them. Only 2 of them saw it.
Man.
We'll have to wait for those guys to come forward.
I would bet that the government has piles of them.
But it does say on their website, the Duke Farms, that they did have a lot of animals, including camels and horses and stuff on the property there, kind of like a little zoo. So who knows how much 300 million will buy that this lady had.
Wow.
Like Hearst Castle, he had a bunch, like a zoo.
Yeah, he had his own zoo there too.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have something like that. You wouldn't let it go though. I don't think. If it wanted revenge, you could just like dump it.
There were some people in the comments on this because it was on a big website, and there was a kid there that said that he had tried to fish at some of the lakes inside that property because they had lakes everywhere, and he said it was so heavily guarded that every time he tried to get in there, they'd chase him off.
Wow.
So they're trying to protect something in there.
Yeah, you think?
Maybe it's still there.
Wow. Very cool.
Like that guy, we went out up to Mount Owen. That's the mountain we were trying to remember.
Yeah.
And the guy's telling us, man, watch out for the tiger. You know.
Right.
We're like, a tiger? Oh my God. You know, we drove around everywhere. We never saw the gazelle, the tiger, the zebra. We didn't see nothing. You know. A deer. We saw a deer.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, I got the next photograph up, and it has a couple of footprints. I think that's what it is.
It has 3 pictures with it.
Okay.
This is from the BFRO website. It's from, this happened in 2009, but they're still investigating it. Happened in Ohio. The nearest town is Christiansburg, actually near Dayton, Ohio. And this is over a few months that this all happened. It all started on at 11:30 in February of 2009. This guy went out in his back porch to go smoke, and it's a full moon, and there's about 4 inches of snow on the ground. Temperatures are in the single digits, and he heard something moving in the snow. You could hear the snow crunching and branches breaking, and you could hear it getting closer. And he looked around his backyard, and he could see the trees shaking. Still couldn't see anything. He said there was a full moon, so with the snow reflecting off the moon, it was pretty bright out there, but he still couldn't see in the shadows. And there was like a tree line about 20 feet away from him. Couldn't see anything. Still hearing crunching around there. And then you could still hear it getting closer. About 10 acres of woods on his property, and then another 50 acres behind that. And you couldn't see it, so he went upstairs to go get his wife and woke her up so he could open the window in their bedroom to try to see if he can see better from up there on the second floor. And they could both hear something walking on 2 feet, crunching the ground and breaking branches. So the next morning they go out and look for whatever it was out there, look for evidence and stuff, and he finds 17-inch tracks, and those are the pictures, that first picture. It's about 9 inches wide, and he sees them all over the place in the backyard, right where he's hearing all the noises. So he followed the tracks, and he said it looked like a tornado went through there. You could see all the branches and trees broken and stuff, and about 60 to 70 yards of tracks. And then 6-inch diameter trees were knocked over, and it went all the way to the back of his property where he had a barbed wire fence. And it was about 5 feet high. It was pushed down to 1 foot high. It looked like it was stepped on. And there was hair on it, so he collected the hair in a little plastic bag. Says he has a lot of deer out in his property, so he thought it was a deer, but after finding the tracks, he knew it wasn't. And he followed the tracks past his fence into his neighbor's area, and he found a fresh dead deer, a deer kill.
Ooh.
So there's no hunting on his property or the neighbor's property. But as he looked at the deer, he saw that the deer had no legs. The legs were removed, and the lower jaw was ripped completely off of the body. So there were no internal organs. Its rib cage was completely smashed in.
Not the correct.
And then he looked around, and he could see that the deer legs were stacked against a tree there. So no predator would stack deer legs against a tree. He went over there to where the legs were, and he could see an indentation in the ground where something sat there and looked like it ate its meal right next to the tree, leaning up against the tree. So he started taking pictures of the whole area, and those are the pictures of the deer that you're seeing there. And as he was taking pictures, a tree branch hit him in the back of the head and knocked his cap completely off. So he knew whatever did this was still there. And he was thinking Bigfoot already.
Mm-hmm.
So although he had never seen one before, he was thinking it might have been a Bigfoot because by the big tracks. So he ran back to his house, and then he sees it again 100 feet. The next night he sees it again in the backyard, 100 feet from his deck. He's walking towards him. So he gets out his shotgun, and he can see eye shine in the dark. But he still can't really see it. He just sees a shadow of it. And so he goes out the next day to the other side of his property, and he finds a little lean-to built out of sticks. So he looks inside there, and he finds deer bones and deer fur in there. So he collects all those. He's looking at the bones, and they have teeth marks on them.
Wow.
So he's whoa. He said they're big teeth too on the deer bones. So he saves everything for them because he doesn't know who to call. So he's saving everything. Then in June of that same year, his kids were out on the swing set, and they were getting pelted by rocks. So they went and told their dad, and he could still see the rocks flying, but he couldn't see what was throwing them. So he got the kids inside, and that night around 1 o'clock in the morning, he went out in the backyard, and as soon as he popped on the light and stepped out into the deck, he saw it for the first time, and he could see it standing right where the kids were at the swing set. And the swing set, he says, is about 6 feet high, and this thing was about 2 to 3 feet taller than the swing set, just staring at him. So he freaked out, and he couldn't move about 4 to 5 seconds, and the thing just turned around and walked back into the forest. So now he knows for sure what he's dealing with, an 8 to 9 foot tall Bigfoot in his backyard. So in July, he's back in his backyard. They're picking up wood, him and his daughter in the backyard picking up wood, and all of a sudden they hear what sounded to them like a lion roar. We've heard that before. So they also hear wood knocking.
Oh, that's scary when the roar happens.
Just throw it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He hears wood knocking back there too, and he doesn't know what to do because he knows what it is now.
That's not.
Then later that night, the next night, they hear a noise. They have a gravel driveway, and they hear something walking on the driveway, going towards their garbage cans that are on the side of the garage. So he goes out the front porch, flicks on the lights, and he sees it again, 8 to 9 feet tall, standing by his garbage cans, staring at him. So he just turns off his lights, goes back inside. He doesn't know what to do because this thing's living in his backyard. He knows for sure now. And it's been there since, it's now July, and it's been there since February.
At the break.
So he doesn't want to tell any of his neighbors because he don't want to freak them out. But then he was in his backyard one night, and he could hear noises coming again from the forest. And then all of a sudden he hears the neighbor's dogs barking. And then his neighbor pulls up on his ATV, and he tells his neighbor tells him that he's hearing something in his backyard. He came out to check it out, and he's like, yeah, I'm hearing it too. And then he tells his neighbor everything that he's experienced and what he saw and all that stuff. So his neighbor's thinking, okay, but he goes out with him the next day, and they find another dead deer out there, torn apart.
Wow.
So this was going on for 7 months. And what's interesting about this is the government, the witness that reported this is a government contractor working on advanced systems at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base nearby.
Whoa. Oh, wow.
So there's another connection there, another government installation nearby.
Right. Very cool.
That's pretty weird.
I tell you, I think our theory holds water, especially here in Fresno. Wherever there is a military installation is because there are paranormal activities occurring in that area.
Parallel?
Or
they're happening because of it there.
It could be too that they're doing experiments and yeah, because you have Area 51 military installation, you have Mount Shasta's military installation, you have Fresno military installation, and I'm Edward Air Force Base, I'm pretty sure, and then all the other ones, they're witnessing Bigfoots. There's UFOs coming down, mostly because of the nuclear weapons and stuff like that, but I know there's a correlation. There is. I know there is. So wherever...
Area 51, Mammoth, Fresno, and maybe even the coast, it's pretty much in a straight line.
Yeah, you're right. It absolutely is. So that's why Fresno has so much activity, and a lot of people want to know why Fresno, because I've been letting people know about Fresno since I first started this, and everybody thought I was just making this crap up until I started showing them photographs, and people started coming forward, and I started presenting everybody with the evidence, and people still didn't get it. They go, there's no way. And I'm going, you know what, there is a reason for all this, guys. There is. I'm not here just because of one specific paranormal subject. We have it all here. We have it all here. And that's the reason why we started this whole, show, is because we want to show you what's going on, not only here, but in other parts of the United States and the world that have military installations. And,
it's more than one person telling you. It's different contractors telling you, and people that work there and seen it for themselves, and they have no clue what you're talking about and all that stuff. They just say they're telling you something weird they saw.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, the reports, since we've been on Art Bell, thank you, Art Bell, and everybody over there, since we've been on that, the emails and the messages and people hitting me, like in the stores and stuff like that, the counts are increasing. Some of the stories are old, like the one you talked about, 1977, but
it's because people don't have a place to report them, and now they're slowly finding out places to report their sightings.
Exactly.
This is what's happening to us too.
Yeah.
I've had them tell me that people that's ran into Bigfoot up in the hills. Actually ran into them at their car and all kinds of stuff. And different colors. Multicolor, like a calico Bigfoot and a white Bigfoot and a black Bigfoot, and it's amazing. And then I have people telling me there's only one Bigfoot.
My buddy at work, he goes, there's only one Bigfoot, right, Jeff? And I just started laughing at him, and he goes, what's so funny? I'm going, dude, you haven't seen our show, have you? You fool.
They say it. They believe it. They'll argue with you. There's only one.
Yeah, he moves from the East Coast to the West Coast in a matter of 2 hours and 46 minutes, and yeah.
Well, he can really, he flies. He gets in his UFO and he flies over there and over here, and he takes his baby out, his fake baby.
Oh my gosh.
Could be.
Oh yeah. What are we gonna do with these people?
I don't know.
Watch the show, you guys. If it's not our show, watch another show. It's just, you know what? Once a mentality hits them that there are no monsters. Those UFOs, they're just airplanes and helicopters and people flying remote-controlled drones. That's all they are, you guys. You guys are wasting your time.
Well, the Bigfoot thing just blew up this week. Wow. And some people are even in the Bigfoot groups are saying, I'm tired of all the drama of the Bigfoot people.
Choosing sides and drawing lines.
Oh, man, they really are this week. Todd Standing, really, he got him.
Well, you know what?
Going,
Danny's on the phone. Let's go and talk about that. The whole Jeff Meldrum thing. All right. Yeah. Let's let's talk about that. Kathy Strain came out.
Yeah.
Okay. Kathy Strain came out and pretty much put her fist on the desk and said, you know what? Todd Standing is a freaking hoaxer, and Jeff Meldrum is associated with Todd Standing. Therefore, this is Kathy Strain talking, right? Not me. Kathy Strain says, I am not going to consider Jeff Meldrum now credible anymore.
That's right, yeah.
That's what she said.
And you remember, you were there, Danny, when we went up to the Bay Area and Meldrum was there. Yeah, and he was signing books and everything, and Kathy Strain was there and her family, and I think
they actually sat right next to each other.
Yeah, it was like celebrity thing. They were like, oh man, Jeff Meldrum, and they really liked him. So for her to say that blew me away.
Yeah,
she really was like that was like a celebrity thing to her, kind of.
So what
I think everybody's catching on that he's just a salesman, and that's how he's getting his money.
Well, but, okay, you know what?
He's got to show more.
Yeah, but you know what? Alan seems to think, though. Look, Alan is still on the the fence per se, and just like he doesn't know which way to go yet. Me, I can't go either way yet either.
We'll have to let it play out.
Yeah.
I think there is activity at his sites.
Yeah.
Maybe not to the degree that he's making everybody believe, or have the videos. I don't know. I don't think they are real, but we'll have to let it all play out.
See
what happens.
It goes back to us, okay? Like, we go out, and nearly every single time we go out there, something happens. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean you necessarily see it,
right?
But you know what it is. You know what I mean?
It's not always huge.
Yeah. Now, you guys who are watching and listening to us right now, we have taken, and so has David Ragosa, have taken people who don't believe at all and think we're a bunch of nut people.
Yeah.
And we take them up there, and all of a sudden, something happens so incredible, their mind just is blown. And one person in particular, Mickey Burrell.
Yeah.
Okay, Mickey Burrell, for all those who don't know, is the forensic officer who David actually took with us one day up in the mountains, okay, and found some footprints. You know, Mickey is a science guy, all right. You know, he's a forensic expert, 17 years, police, you know, works with the police. And for him to say, oh my God, there is a thing called Bigfoot. And when we brought the windows to Mickey, that just confirmed everything to Mickey, that holy beep, this is real. You know,
that's what I thought Jeff Meldrum was doing. I mean, you know, he actually was saying he never saw nothing, and he found people's castings, and it had dermal ridges, and you know, like when you first read his stuff, it's all about the mechanics of the Bigfoot foot and everything. And I mean, that got him swayed to believing in a Bigfoot. I mean, that's what I get out of it. And then he supposedly goes over to Todd Standing's thing, and at night he sees a huge shadow go across the road. And then you and I and Danny, we all know, like, if there's one close enough for you to see a shadow, then you're probably going to have things thrown at you. You're going to hear noises and growls and roars. And I mean, there's going to be other evidence that is going to, it's going to like scare the crap right out of you. Right. And you're going to believe. I mean, you don't necessarily have to look it right in the eye. I'm going to tell you right now, that you know right away that can't be done by a human. Things start getting thrown at you, and these growls and roars that you can hear feel in your stomach and stuff. I mean,
yeah. Well, David Ragosa is a principal. I mean, a superintendent at a school, and he took one of his principals up there to the site that we go to, and they were looking down a hill and heard noise down there. And David said that the creature stepped out from behind the tree and stared at them before turning and walking away. And he said the principal saw it too. He saw it, and the principal would not admit to what he saw. He said, if you tell anybody that what we saw, I'll deny it. So, okay, right. No problem with me. But you saw it. He said, I saw a bear. And that's what he would tell everybody. I saw a bear up there.
Right.
And for 2 years, that's all he would say is, I saw a bear. And then about 2 years later, he finally told David, that was no bear I saw up there. He said, I know, I was there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it was a bear going around the tree going, peekaboo. You know?
Standing up, walking on 2 legs.
Right. You know, and
it took him a long time to admit
right.
He actually saw it.
And that goes for, oh my God, I forgot his name. The other fella.
Bill Compton?
Yeah, thank you very much. Bill Compton. He took him up as well, and David went one way, Bill Compton went the other, and Bill Compton was by himself, again, a non-believer, and this Bigfoot stood up right in front of him, and I think he said it was not more than 15 feet, 20 feet in front of him.
It was behind a tree.
It was behind a tree.
And he something break.
And he stood up right in front of Bill Compton, and I think the Bigfoot took off, and Bill Compton came to David, and I remember David telling me the story that Bill Compton was so white that he was just about to have to be sick, and Bill Compton goes, "Let's go home. I've seen enough."
It was the first day of a 3-day trip.
Yes, he goes, "That's it. I'm
really
done."
Quick.
Yeah, he goes, "That's it. I don't know the words he said. He probably it just I don't remember what he said, but Bill Compton and David, I believe, were purchasing cameras together, and we're talking thousands of dollars worth of cameras, you guys. Bill Compton said, "You can keep the cameras. I know they're real. I don't want to come up here anymore. Take me home right now." He was done, and that's it. And that's, I mean, I wish.
Is that the cop?
No,
remember the cop one?
Works for AT&T too.
Yeah, I do.
Remember the cop was walking with them, and then they were being flanked. Remember, and the cop's like, they're putting us in a panzer move.
I don't want the cop move. Yeah.
They're surrounding
They had
us.
tree knocks. They were surrounded by tree knocks.
Yeah, and the guy, it freaked out the cop. He pulled out his gun, and then he was done too. That was his last time ever going out there. He said that was a tactical move for them to be surrounded and they were going to be attacked. That, in his mind, that's what was happening.
Wow.
And that place is a trip. But like I said, now, okay, Meldrum goes out with standing, things start happening. And we, sitting over here, as we're talking, everybody's listening to us. They're going, "Yeah, right, whatever," Right. And now here's Meldrum saying, "Look, I saw this, and this and this," and he's probably not saying everything. And
He can't yet.
yeah, I mean,
Right.
so we all know about those too. About you sign these agreements, and you can't talk about it for 2 years or whatever. And so, I mean, I'm going to stay on the fence because I could open my mouth and say, forget that dude, and he's faking everything. And then 2 years from now, when it hits the TV or the movies, and you're looking at it going, holy beep.
Right.
I think everybody's just tired, and what we need now is a body.
Yep. That's what we
true.
need is a body.
That's true, Dan.
And it's a matter of time. One of these days, somebody. You know what? For all those Bigfoot
Can't say it,
investigators,
they'll start following
yeah.
us
For
every
all
time we
those
go out of
Bigfoot
town.
investigators out there who now have the mentality to say that yes, you know what, we need a body, and you guys have to be very careful. And we already have plans here at Paranormal Central when that day comes, if it ever happens to us. We have steps already, that are going to be taken, that are needed, because if you do shoot a Bigfoot, all those who are watching us out there right now, and you make a phone call and you tell your wife or your brother or your sister you just shot a Bigfoot, within an hour, I guarantee you, Jeeps or SUVs will be flanking you, and they're going to come on you, and they're going to take it away.
I would bet 20 minutes even.
Helicopters were going to be coming in. You guys have to understand that certain phrases are programmed in the NSA and CIA for them to be catching on anything like that. That's how careful you have to be. You guys have to go in completely silent mode, and don't tell anybody what you've got. Take it, hide it. I would cut off a hand. I would cut off a foot. Put them in different locations. That's what you need to do. There are plans that need to be planned. You guys need to have a plan. All right, just don't go, woohoo! Look, we got a Bigfoot, and all of a sudden take it down to town and show everybody. No, it's going to get taken away so fast.
Now, that goes for everybody that just goes camping and hunting too.
Right.
I mean, I was deer hunting and I ran right into it. Or actually, I was sitting there and it came down on me, but I could have shot it right then. And I mean, if you
you weren't looking for one, so you didn't know how to react. At that time.
No. In fact, I got to think about it for 30 minutes. I watched it for a long time. When it started running, I actually was thinking about the other ones. That I would shoot the one, and then it's, I got this big 10-footer on the ground, and I'm, tripping out, looking at what I shot, and the one behind me was the one I was worried about, so I wouldn't shoot it. Because I knew that I couldn't put my full attention on the one I shot. I had a feeling I was going to be defending myself against some kind of family unit. I mean, that's what was going through my mind.
Right.
And so I didn't take the shot. I let it run away and hide and turn into a ninja and just poof.
Yep. Got to be careful, people. Have to be careful. So, all right. But anyways, I guess we just have to wait and see, this whole Jeff Meldrum and Todd Standing, however long that's going to take. I don't know.
A year
I don't know,
at least.
Man.
I was looking at did you see that, Danny? It's like a trailer or something like that Standing put up. And I think
there's apparently a documentary that's coming out of all the evidence put together, and that's why Meldrum can't say anything until after the documentary comes out.
Right.
So that he can make the money off of it.
But it's like July or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, Yeah, I think he had a sneak peek at the first 40 minutes of it in Seattle, but again, nobody is able to confirm that that actually took place. That was supposed to be after that conference, that big conference that they had.
Wow. And I really want to see that stuff too, because I have a feeling, I have this real feeling there's going to be some real Bigfoot stuff come out, and I have a feeling a whole bunch of people are going to be backpedaling on everything they said. and I know, I think a lot of it has to do with and I like the guy, but only he starts putting out these bogus Bigfoot reports, Bigfoot evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing going on, in the Bigfoot world, no Bigfoot reports. So then he just starts running crap, You tell me what it is, and then you see some guy jumping around, in a black suit, I mean, it's like that kind of stuff is what's getting everybody tired of it. Mm-hmm. That you can't just keep on running all these bogus, stupid, and you think it's going to be something, and then when I don't even look at them no more. I read the comments first.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, everybody said it was crap, I'm not even going to look.
All right, I guess we'll just have to wait until this all plays out, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get Kathy Strain on the show here soon. I tried to get her on today, but she had something going on, and so no problem there. So, all right, Danny, anything else?
Last
oh,
picture,
yeah. Sorry.
It's from Answers.com, and it lists the top 10 best Bigfoot pictures showing proof of the actual creature. And if you look down into it, number 4 is a very familiar picture.
Yes, it is.
It says Memorial Day weekend is typically a time to get friends and family together and welcome the coming summer season. During this weekend in 2011, visitors to the Sierra National Forest in California had a shocking surprise when they checked their remote cameras, the trail cameras. The footage appears to show a Bigfoot sitting on the side of a rocky hill and reportedly also left an oily residue on the cameraman's car.
I wonder what that could be about.
I don't even have a clue.
Right. Hello, you guys. Mr. McFly. That's the windows off of my truck. Yes, that...
made it to number 4.
Number 4. But you know what? Number 3 was a story. It didn't have anything backing up number 3, right? Number 1 was a Gimlin Patterson film. All right, I can understand. That's number 1, sure. Number 2 was the print that was brought down by Destination Truth.
Orang Pendek.
From Malaysia, right?
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Okay, that one was a really cool one. If that one was true, then that one was a killer find, all right? And then the third one was what, Danny?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I was reading it, and it was like a story with no proof of anything. So, here we've got the window, the proof, and then, the footprint that you see there with David's hand, and a couple of pictures. So I think we should be number 3, to be honest.
Man,
really
you know what? And there's actually a boatload of pictures. That's just one of them.
You guys don't
we
know.
have a whole trackway
Oh, my gosh.
of that track that you're looking at right there. I mean, somewhere on my computer, David downloaded all of them, and because he's like, nobody believes him, so he's almost gave up on proving it to anyone, Man, one day we were at his house and he showed us. I don't even know if I should talk about this, but it was.
I think he showed it to you, not to me. I don't think I was there.
He would take bags of apples.
Oh, the fingerprint. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and then
I didn't see that.
He took a bag of apples and then he would cut a slit in the bag, just enough to pop out an apple, right? And then take a bite out of the apple, show that the apple's good, take a bite out of it, and then throw the apple, and then lay the bag down, and then come back later, and there would be fingerprints where the Bigfoot would go and grab the bag and stretch it out to get the apples out. And, that cellophane bag or whatever they are, you could see the ridges of the thumb and fingers where it grabbed that bag and pulled it. And, oh, man, big old fat fingers, And he had that blew me away. I was just like, oh my God.
Man,
I can't wait to do that.
Mickey Burrow would have had a field day with that. So. Wow. Okay, Danny. So I guess what we're gonna do is, because of the work schedule between you and I, is we're just gonna go ahead and work this whole until New Year's, I guess, and then we're gonna start shooting the first week of January. So.
Okay.
All right.
Is that rain?
No, it's a jet.
Oh. Okay.
All right, Mister. Thank you very much, sir.
All right.
Talk to you
have a
soon.
good night.
All right,
Bye,
you too,
Danny.
man. See ya.
Take care, ma'am.
See ya.
All right, Danny Valderrama, our Sasquatch reporter, who's been with us. I don't know anybody else except Alan that are big Bigfoot geeks than Danny and Alan.
Oh man.
They live, poop, drink Bigfoot.
I ran into my friend, a best friend. We went to high school. We lived across the street from each other, and we'd go and take motorcycles up there and all our rifles and everything, and we would go 2 weeks at a time, all the time, every summer, every weekend, and then one, during you get take our vacation from work and stay 2 weeks. And one day I saw the Bigfoot on the hunting trip he didn't go on, right? And so then he comes by and he's like, "Hey, old man," and I didn't know who it was, and then he pulls in my driveway and he's like, "You still go camping?" I'm like, "Yeah." What about you? And he says, "Oh, I bought a trailer and I'm going to start go camping, back up to the old places and stuff." And then I started telling him, "Man, let's go over. I know some spots." Like I told him I want to go up to I want to go by the Apple Ranch. Right over there, and that's on his side of the mountain that he knows really well. It's like, man, let's go over there, and we'll do the little apple bag trick. Put a couple of apple bags and cut a slit in it and everything. And I showed him tracks several times, way up. I mean, like on ridges where there's no roads and you have to walk a half an hour, to get to the top of the ridge. And here's these man tracks, barefoot man tracks, and I mean, they were like size 13s, not 27 inches by 10 inches or nothing. Right. And I think they were younger because they actually had an arch, and I think that's what threw them off. I mean, at both times they had an arch.
But come on, I mean, how high were you guys?
9,000 feet.
Okay. Did you ask them why would I don't know, teenager be walking around here barefoot up here at 9,000 feet where it's cold?
Okay, it would be like 7:30, 8 in the morning. By the time we got to where we were, we would start hiking right when the sun came up. It was dark. And we would get up there, and you could see these tracks going off into the wilderness. No trees. There's no trees. We're above the trees. Okay, the trees can't live that high up. Right. So you could see the tracks going off in a straight line, a very straight line.
Straight line, not parallel like this, but
yeah, exactly,
straight.
Almost
Boom,
totally straight.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, and with like a 6-foot space between it. Okay, and still see the ridges in the sand, and wow. He was still like, no. And when I was telling him, let's go, and take your camper and we'll go up there and I'll prove it to you. He's like, no, let's not, go there.
Okay. All right. Well, my kid and the wife, or the elf, I should say, just walked in the studio, and I think they want to present me with a present, I guess, here. As you can see, I don't know, probably not, but I'm wearing a Christmas shirt already as it is. And the elf, and thank you, son. Okay, so she said, be careful and open it. So let's see. Apparently, Cheryl, Diane, whatever her name is, made this, right? Yes. Yeah. Let's see what it is. Boom! It blows up, and I lose a finger. And yeah, she would love that. She'd be laughing big time.
So now you have to describe it for all the Art Bell fan people on Dark Matter. So far, it's just a wrapping paper. Oh, wow, that's cool. We should take a picture of it and send it over there.
Look at that, guys.
Tweet it.
That's cool.
That is cool.
It's a Bigfoot. My wife's a school teacher. Okay, So this explains it right there. She's pretty good with her hands. Everybody nodding, going like, duh. If you can see, there's a UFO, Bigfoot, and a hairy print down. So that's cool. Thank you.
That's cool.
You know what? Put it right there. Right in the middle or something, right there. I'll hang it during the break. I'll hang it. Very cool. Let's see what she's gonna put in there for Christmas. I'm gonna throw this at Emerald. Got her. So, there you go. So, all right. Thank you.
During the break, we'll take a picture of it and tweet it over to the Dark Matter.
There you go. So that way they can see what my wife made me. Actually, look at that foot. That's actually pretty good.
It is good. It has toenails.
Yeah, so, geez. Yep, that's my wife, actually, I have to admit, she actually is very creative. And, in her classroom, all of the teachers, when it's holidays, they come over to her classroom and sneak in and look at what she has so they can steal her ideas. Because she really goes all out, doing different things as far as not only seasons or holidays, but just what she has for her students. She'll have, she's a big dinosaur freak, Cheryl is, okay? And I can tell you right now, she's a big dinosaur freak. So she'll have a sandbox in her classroom where she'll have dinosaur bones, and she'll have the kids go and look for dinosaur bones and with the brush. And I mean, she gets really into that stuff, and she makes, it's the kids that get her are really lucky, because not a lot of teachers know how to really be creative. I mean, and that's why when we put on haunted houses here and we have the time, she'll go all out and really decorate and stuff like that. So very cool. All right.
Yeah, and they get lines of like 800-900 people
this year
wrapped around the neighborhood.
We started doing our haunted house here. Second year, third year we moved here. And we did it small. We did it in the garage. You enter one side of the garage, you go out the other. We had like little 3 stations. But every year it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then now we have it going on, starting on one end of the yard, to the front gate, and then go around the back of the house and then exit on the other side of the gate. And, because this year it actually rained, and we knew the rain was coming, so even though she did put a lot of effort into it, within an hour it started to rain and we had to call it quits. Previous years, you guys, we'd had somebody at the front with one of those clickers. Averages around 800 to 900 people would show up to our yard. All right, and the line would start at 6 o'clock and before it got dark, and go out the cul-de-sac and to the right and that. And we don't charge. We just do it because, we feel that we just like doing it.
It's fun.
It's fun. We like scaring the crap out of people. How's that? We like making kids cry. And boy, do we ever make kids cry. So there you go. I remember
kids crying and parents running.
Leaving
their kid crying.
One of the first years we started going around the back, we had 3 news stations that 24, ABC, CBS, and Fox had their vans parked out in the cul-de-sac, and they were doing live remotes from our house because they were going, holy mackerel, these guys are nuts. But that's just us, and that's why when we do something, we go all out, as you can see on our stat. All right? Because, when we enjoy something, we go all out for you guys. And this is what we're doing. So, all right, let's continue. Let's have some more fun. What time is it? It is, it's only 6 o'clock, right? Yeah, 6 o'clock. So we got another 25 minutes. We're going to take a break. And we're going to go take care of some business, like getting some hot to drink and some coffee and all that kind of stuff. So, let's talk about what's been happening in the news lately. There's some things that happened in the past couple of weeks we didn't get to talk about last week because we ran out of time. Well, first of all, let's. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on there. I hope this. Oh no, there it is. All right. You can get right now. Somebody actually sent this and put it on my wall, but a copy of the Ghostbusters vehicle is up for grabs if you have $85,000. You know what? If I had $85,000, that would be in my house right now. I'm serious. Only because that's the kind of person I am, a freakazoid when it comes to props and all that kind of good stuff. It would be cool just to have it.
That was made. That car is the same year as I was born, so that makes it valuable just right there. It's freaking old.
1895?
Yeah. I think it was 1959.
Oh, 1959. Okay. So, apparently it's not exactly, to the T of the original, but when people put these things together, they go all out and they try to do it. It's a good job. They did a good job. But
yeah, I think they said the outside is, to the T, like what it looked like in the movie. But the inside is still original. That way, you could take all the stuff off, and then you still have an original Cadillac.
Why would you want to take it off?
I don't know. But some people, are weird.
Right. But yeah, awesome. So so a couple people actually sent this. Goes, man, you guys need this. You guys really need this. And I'm going, whoa, time out here.
We don't need it.
We already have one. It's not in running condition right now. But we have one. And they were going, what do you mean you have one? Well, look, guys.
Man, it's been in parades. It's been all over the place.
Let me show you ours.
This needs only a little bit of work.
I went to prom in it.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
you did.
Let's talk about
that's
that.
Right.
That was fun.
Okay, guys. This is our vehicle. I've had this vehicle.
It's been a while.
I've had this. I don't know.
That's been on chasing UFOs. Yeah. It actually made TV.
Yeah. This is our vehicle, guys. I've had this now going on 8-9 years. How old are you? Okay, wait a minute. See this thing here, guys? This ambulance? I actually took Emerald to the prom in this thing.
We didn't go together. He drove.
I drove. I was the chauffeur. She was on her date with another pair, right?
It was just us
you two.
there, and then you picked us up with some other people.
Okay, so check it out, guys. I'm driving them in the back of the ambulance, right? And we pull up to the front of where was this at? The park.
It was Holland Park West.
Okay, and I pull up in the ambulance and I turn on all the lights, right? And I get out and I open the side door, and all of a sudden Emerald and her date gets out, and everybody's going, "What the hell is this?" And it was funny. So. Everybody's tripping. All the teachers are smiling and laughing. So I go, and you know what? When people have limos and stuff, the limo driver usually goes and parks someplace, and they eat and they wait till. And that's what I did. I waited, and then I came back and I picked them up and I brought them home. But so this ambulance has been through a lot. And why did I build this thing? Why did I actually, when I bought this, it was white. And it was not running. I had to put in a rebuilt engine in it. I had it painted. I had to get the stickers made, all that. But at the time when we were doing investigations, we took this when we went to spend the night at somebody's house to do an investigation. So, we ran all of the wires in here. I had monitors set up in there. And this was our mobile unit, guys. And I also, I made it so when we were able to put it in parades. We were in a lot of parades, and people got kicks out of this. And it's a good promotion device as well.
Still get invites to the parades too.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's not in working condition, and I do got to get it back on the road. And it just takes money.
Yeah.
And nice. I don't know how much I don't know how much more Rick has to go, our mechanic, but I think that the outside probably needs to change, and we need to put Paranormal Central on it. And Sanger Paranormal Society right now is not the number one priority. It's this show is the number one priority. Then once the show takes off, then we'll be able to incorporate the Sanger Paranormal Society into the show. And I think, once we get a budget, we can go ahead and get this thing fixed up and really running, because it doesn't have air condition. And when we were doing, investigations in the summer, oh my God, it was so hot in there, guys. This is the old,
even in the night.
Yeah, it was so hot in there. So
well, like most people, the new people, they don't know Sanger Paranormal Society that's the investigative side of the Paranormal Central.
Right.
That's the one that has the teams that go out and do the ghost hunting, the just about all the research and everything. That's that arm of it.
Right.
And that's what actually brought us to where we are now. Like bringing all the research that came from that, and then we want to tell everybody, and we want to share. And we started sharing, and we were actually running under the Singer Paranormal name, but it was too much, too big, and the TV stations and the show areas where we were doing it, they're like, man, that's too long of a name. You got to shorten it down. So we did, and now that's taking off. But it doesn't mean that Singer Paranormal Society went anywhere. It just means that it's the research. That's where all the equipment and teams and everything run under that logo and name. Still.
And that's I started the Sanger Paranormal Society, and you're probably going, what's Sanger? Sanger is the little town I was born in, just east of Fresno. Very small community. Well, it had thousands of people there, but I was born and raised there, so I decided to call it the Sanger Paranormal Society, and that's where that started. And then once I started investigating and got my team and got a lot of evidence, I said, you know what? I just can't put this stuff on the website and hope someone is going to see it. I said, I really got to, show it somehow. And that's when I started doing the show, and everything that we investigated and retrieved as far as evidence, we show it here. Okay. So that's our Ghostbusters vehicle. And people, they always say, where's your Ghostbusters vehicle? And I'm going, well, it's somewhere right now. So, all right. So if you have $85,000, I want you to go buy the Ghostbusters vehicle.
If I had it, I would.
Yeah, I would in a heartbeat. So, okay. 2 weeks ago, last week, I believe, there was a couple of cartoons on TV. And, Christmas is here. And you have your Charlie Brown and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And then you have your Toy Story Christmas special. And we were watching it because Christian, my son, was watching it with us. And so as soon as these certain toys popped up on the screen, he goes, hey, reptilians. And me and Cheryl looked up and we went, holy mackerel, those are reptilians. And Christian pointed them out. And I'm going to show you what he saw and what we saw. If you guys saw the Toy Story, this was in the cartoon. All right.
Ninjago has them too.
The who do what?
Ninjago. It's like the I don't know, Lego or whatever. It's another kid thing.
Oh, okay.
And it's like ninjas, but only they fight the reptilians.
Ooh.
I mean, it seems like the reptilian thing's into everything.
Or they're trying to condition us.
Starting off when you're little.
Yeah. Now let me show you another picture of the actual reptilian. All right. Now what really caught? Now I don't know. Look at that emblem that it has. Dinosaur. It just very weird. Now the little girl in the Toy Story cartoon, when they were goofing around with these toy dolls, she goes, and I don't remember what she called them, but she sort of kind of made a statement, and she said, and these are from Neptune or Florida. Can't remember which one. She said that. The little girl who was playing with all these toys, she goes, oh, and these are from Neptune or Florida. And I looked at Cheryl and we went, what? Okay, so, making a statement like that, like they're from Neptune, I don't know how to take that. What was it? Just they decided to say something stupid and say Neptune. But, we talk about reptilians here a lot. We do, guys. We believe that they are on Earth and under us. I'm going to get off of this real quick.
I've actually got, talking about people coming back and giving us reports and everything. That's something that I get reports of a lot.
Reptilians?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know they were so pervasive in society, but, man, there's a lot of stories of around here, up and down California, these caves and all this.
They talk about reptilians in New Mexico, the Dulce, New Mexico. And you know what's weird? Isn't it weird? I don't know if you knew about this or not, but Norio Hayakawa.
I remember him.
Okay, well, he just came out and said all the Dulce is crap. It doesn't exist. You guys are all, it's just all phony baloney. But he's the one who's been pushing this since the very beginning. Now he says there's nothing there.
We have a show. I think I loaded it on YouTube. It's not a long, it's just like we were interviewing at some kind of UFO con or something like that. And we did Carrie Cassidy and, a whole bunch of people. But we did Norio on there, and he talked about that.
Everybody knows Norio for the Dulce, New Mexico base. Okay. Now he's coming out and said there's no base, there's no such thing as a base there, which is blowing everybody out of the water. I don't know what made him do a 180, but I think somebody got to him.
Somebody paid him.
I really think somebody got to him.
Come on, Norio. Maybe he wasn't making enough on his books.
I don't know, but somebody basically, I don't know, I think told him something, and I think he pretty much said, that's it, nope. So he is now saying there's no such thing as the Dole in New Mexico base. There's no such thing. So, which is kind of interesting because a lot of people, I don't want to say a lot of people, but people that we know will tell us one thing, and then all of a sudden, nope, never happened. Never happened.
Man, we had that happen so many times, especially with tunnels, which I think those things live in. And then, they tell us, oh, you guys are way off. Go over here and look in this tunnel. And then when you talk to them again, it's like, I didn't say that. What tunnel?
Yep.
And we have emails that says, go there, look here.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. So, yeah. I'm going to talk about, what? We only have like 10 minutes, so I really don't want to get into this subject because this subject is going to take a long time. So let's talk about something else. Oh God, there's so much to talk about. But we had William Stillings coming on here, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't really prepare a lot. And I just walked in the door too, so man, I was stressing. And you can probably talk to Emerald and Alan. I was cussing up a storm in here. Yeah. Emerald, you're all right over there? Cold? Tired. You have finals tomorrow? Yeah.
It's almost over.
I'm almost. Yeah, I'm so excited.
Oh, as far as break goes, you mean?
Yeah.
So.
It's almost. You guys are like midterm right now, right?
No, we have finals next week.
Oh.
Or tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. It's the end, and then you go into spring.
Yeah.
A whole new other semester.
Spring?
Yeah.
So you're off that long? No.
No, fall.
Fall.
No, this is fall. Yeah, spring semester starts January.
Okay.
Yeah, they only get like a little break, but only they like some people are graduating right now, right? Yeah. They're done right now.
Oh.
They're coming out doctor somebody.
So right on. So right. So what's on your mind, Emerald? Anything? So that'll get us going for the next 5 minutes.
No, because I'll start a debate.
Well, let's do it.
No, I'm going to go all political.
Everybody loves
it's not like
the
paranormal
debate.
or nothing.
Oh, political?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm good.
You're
Man,
good?
I seen something kind of political that's paranormal.
What?
All the presidents are related. Even President Obama is related to George Bush.
Yeah.
I mean, can you believe that? So we thought we were living in a free country.
Oh, it's a monarchy still.
Yeah, and all this whole time we've been living under a kingship thing.
I don't think so.
What?
How are they related?
He's like the once removed 13th cousin of George Bush. Something like that.
I don't know. I'd have to see like documentation and crap like that.
They have it on the website. It was all there.
On DNA. They pulled up the DNA and yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like,
what?
I mean, and what really blew me away is all of them. It wasn't just like a couple of presidents. It was Washington and Lincoln, and I mean, you name them, they were on there, and who they were, and they were even related to, like what's her name, Marilyn Monroe. I mean, they were naming Brad Pitt. I mean, they were putting other names in there too.
Like
rich people.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Sony hack.
Oh.
Okay, and
man.
let's find. Okay, for one thing, Sony Pictures got hacked, and they got hacked by, I believe, North Korea, right? And there's a reason why. There's a movie coming out. I don't know if it's come out yet, and I don't know the name of it. Do you know the name of it?
Is it the one with Seth Rogen?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's it?
Damn, I know it, but I lost it.
It's basically the whole.
It's a satire of North Korea.
It's basically them going to North Korea to interview the guy.
Yeah.
I can never say his name.
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un. Now, yeah.
The
And
interview. It's called The Interview.
The
Thank you,
Interview.
Keith.
Duh. Okay, so it's called The Interview, and since somehow they got access to the dictator, the government stepped in and offered them a deal to assassinate him while they're interviewing him.
This is in the movie.
In a movie.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
In a movie. Now, the word got out, and Kim Jong-un said, if that movie comes out, I will start a war.
Nuke you.
I will start a war with the United States. Okay. Or I will do something else. So Sony Pictures has this movie. Well, they released the trailers, and I think it's being released as we speak or something like that. The North Korea hacked Sony Pictures, and that's the reason. And literally hacked in and stole email after email from everybody, from producers to directors to movie stars, secret emails, everybody. All right, and now they are releasing all the information little by little to get back at Sony Pictures for them to come up with a script about Kim Jong-un. And they're letting Hollywood have it right now. And man, they're coming out and they're putting stuff out there. Some of it is just big deal, big freaking deal. But I think they're saving the best for last. All right, and I think it's going to get juicy here. And pretty soon. So literally they hacked into everything, and who knows what they got. So they've got probably, if they've got the emails from movie stars, because they were releasing emails how movie stars were talking to producers and vice versa, and if they got into their emails, then they probably got into the personal computers and probably got downloaded pictures from movie stars. This could go really, really deep, you guys, in form of creating embarrassment for movie stars that have done work with Sony Pictures. So it's going to get good. It's going to get real good. So this movie is probably going to get released either way. Now, after the hack, who knows what the dictator has in store,
Man, supposedly, like going back to that DNA and related thing, Kim Jong whatever is related to.
What?
Yeah, all of them. All these
See,
guys.
now that right there is telling me that this is all planned.
Yeah.
It's all planned. All right. There is a universal government, NWO, that controls everything. So maybe what we are witnessing right now is just a bunch of people following a script that this is the way that they're being told to run it. Because I think now we're not voting for the presidents. I don't think we are.
We haven't been voting.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think we are voting for the presidents. The stuff the Congress and the Senate are voting for, it's not to our benefit. It's just something's going on here, you guys, and the government basically has plans for us. Man, we can talk about this for long. I mean,
when you grow up, like for me, I mean, I grew up in the 60s and 70s, and I mean, there was still everybody put their hand over their heart when, and stood for the national anthem and, did all that stuff. And now today, like that one you put up where he said they're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance and a prayer, and then half the people left the room. And then the guy started,
it's not to
Hail Satan thing, I'm like, what the heck? I mean, that back in the day, they would have ran you outside and everybody would have beat you silly.
Well, I think that has to do a lot with the generation type thing. And I mean, my generation, I'm not begging on us, but we're not religious. We're not as religious as our older generations. Right. Mind you, we're spiritual.
Yeah.
But we're not following the religion. And I'm all for that. I don't like religion.
Like, if they're not following anything. And that's what makes me think everything, like when I was a kid, we got lied to. We were sold a bill of goods. You know, like, this is the way it is, and the mom stays home, and you have 2 kids, and, you know, I mean, the whole thing was...
Well, see, that's what Obama just came out and said, too. He would rather have the mom stay home and not go out and work. No, I take that back. It's the other way around. She would rather have the mom go work and have the father work and let the government take care of the kids.
Hell no.
That's what basically he wants, that the government to take care of kids, meaning daycare, all that type of care provided for them. So that way they can be taught certain things, certain ways. And
even more than how we were taught?
Yes, because, you know, when we were brought up, you know, our parents taught us right from wrong. But nowadays, it's the parents, because of the lifestyles we want for our kids. A lot of times, both parents have to work in order to provide for that lifestyle. Therefore, the children are not with their parents the majority of the time.
There's a whole bunch more stuff. I mean, like, back in the day, you didn't have this and this bill.
Right.
You didn't have a cable bill. You turned on the TV and you moved the foil up and down the thing to get the channel.
Kids are getting exercise.
Yeah, they were remote controls. Hey, like I turned the channel and turned it up and down. That was my thing. And then at 10 o'clock, it would, some person in there would say, "Do you know where your children are?"
I remember that. At nighttime at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and then
they still say it.
At 12, the TV turned off, and it was just like, I mean, it was it. It was over.
I remember that. Oh my God.
Not anymore.
I'm old. Everyone's going, "What are you guys talking about? We had cable. We've always had cable."
You know what? That's something that makes me mad about cable. It was like early 80s. Cable came out, and they came around selling it, you know. And one of the things about cable, you're going to pay $50 a month or something. But because you're paying $50 a month, there's not going to be any commercials.
Oh.
It was like, we don't have to charge commercials because you're paying for it, right?
Right. That all changed.
Oh man, it didn't last 2 years. I mean, it didn't even last. There was commercials like right away.
Right.
And ever since that's been a rub on me and cable. Ever since, I can't stand it.
You know, like Sirius XM.
Freaking greedy people.
Okay, Sirius XM. I have Sirius XM because my first vehicle, my pickup had it, and now since I just bought a new pickup, it rolled over on that. But
so your new one has it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. In fact, it has a lot of things I just didn't know about. Okay, it has it all in. The matter of fact, it did a little bit better than the Ford, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So. I bought a new truck, and that's our new Bigfoot vehicle. So if we do shoot one, it would fit perfectly in the back.
Yeah, it will.
I'll have to show you guys a picture. Maybe I'll download a picture afterwards and show it to you guys. But anyways, okay. 24. You know what? Let's go ahead and take the break that we are going to take so we can, go to the bathroom and get something to drink and go from there. So. We're going to take about a 7-minute break. I am going to be playing some music from our house band, Possess Tranquility. And we have permission from them to play this. So YouTube and all the other people.
Green.
Blah, 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 blah.
I remember that movie.
Who? What? Huh?
Oh, you can go to the break. Somebody just in chat was talking about Soylent Green. There was the answer, the end of everything, you know.
Soylent Green. Okay, I don't know. So what I'm going to... No, you know what? I'm not going to show that. I'm going to show... that.
Dun dun dun.
All right. Okay, you guys. Like I said, go take care of some business. Go to the bathroom, get some cold to drink, some hot to drink, and come back in about 7-8 minutes, and we will start up again with Heidi Hollis, and we'll continue on. We'll have some fun, and we're going to talk about some cool paranormal stuff. And maybe we'll get some people to call in tonight. Hey. And remember, if you have a blocked call, take it off a block because we will not answer it. We want to know if you're going to, give it to us, then we know what phone number to call back on. All right.
We'll know where to send the sheriff.
There you go. So, all right, you guys. We'll be right back. Take care. A couple of things different. I brought actually the modem right next to the tower, and that still didn't work. So, go figure. I don't get it, people. I don't get it. So, all right. So, we're back.
That's a shame because really that computer's like really, not that much of a slouch.
Yeah, we have top of the line stuff here, guys. That just blows me away. So. All right, let's go ahead and get a hold of Heidi Hollis, who's going to give us the report on some paranormal stuff. And Emerald is going to do that and get her on the line. And we're going to get Heidi. For those who are going to follow us on live stream, I'm going to show some pictures. You can also view the same pictures and some links on artbell.com's website. It's marked. Actually, it's right after the Squatch report that Daddy gave. Okay. Heidi Hollis, are you there?
I am here. Are you guys there?
We are there and here and there.
Yep. Yeah, we are.
Yes.
Up and down and all around.
All right.
Sideways.
Yeah.
All that.
Cool. All right. How you doing, Heidi? Are you there?
Life is good. You know, it's actually been decent over here in Chicago. The weather isn't so icky.
Right on.
I think we got that.
Yeah, you guys got it.
Uh-huh.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, the 80-mile-an-hour wind and the freaking everything.
Oh, well. Live with it. We need the rain. All right.
Yeah, you guys did need it, and apparently you got it in gobs.
Yep. Big time. So, all right, Heidi, we're going to go ahead and get into the Heidi Hollis report. And what is going to be your... Because, Danny is the Squatch report. So how do we announce you?
We'll just invent something.
Yeah.
You know what? It's like I love covering all sorts of odd topics, so I like to call it, odd topics and odd advice with me, I guess. I don't know. We'll dream it up, right?
Okay. Yeah. When you come up with something cool, let me know what it is, and this is how we'll introduce you starting, next time, I guess. So.
Sounds good.
All right.
And I want a purple carpet rolled out.
Oh, okay.
Purple carpet.
It's already out. You just can't see it.
Yeah, you are a freak like my wife.
I love the purple.
Okay.
It's the color of royalty. So anyways, this week, I came across some really, really interesting stuff. I don't know, I'm sure you guys have heard of this guy in Italy called Antonio Urzi. He's essentially considered the modern-day Billy Meyer, who's able to capture tons of UFOs on video and photos, and supposedly over the past 8 years, he's captured 1,700 different UFOs. You've heard of this guy?
Why haven't I?
I seen him. I think I seen him on.
Let me see his
the
picture.
Roku, I think.
Okay.
And they had like UFO show after show after show after show after, and he was on one of them.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that pops up every once in a while. And you're like, that's kind of familiar. It was the same thing for me too, because I know that there was a guy in Italy that's been a bit controversial, that's been taking a lot of shots, and everybody's like, well, why isn't this a bigger deal? Why aren't people really paying attention to this? So I decided to look a little bit into it, and Jaime Maussan, who's down in Mexico, you guys know who Jaime is, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's an interesting fella. He's taken an interest in it as well, and he's done an interview, actually, and there's a link up on artbell.com to show a little bit about his, but it's in Spanish. It's in Spanish. I apologize for that, but I couldn't find one where he does a show in Spanish. So okay, but so Jaime Maussan, he has also been doing some presentations in regard to this guy's story. And one of the presentations, there's also a link to that, which is in English. Mm-hmm. One of his stories, one of the videos that he took special interest in, he had analyzed. And what what he found was absolutely astounding. I mean, everybody's like, gosh, this guy, it just can't be. How is he able to videotape so much? This is Billy Meyer controversy type stuff all over again. So Jaime got this guy to some scientist that's able to analyze this, and he found on the video, and he explains it, reflective lens flares that only come from the sun, and you're able to see this from the sides of the craft and the bottom. There's also a photo that you'll be able to see, a still of this video to kind of show what it looks like. It's a disc of sorts, and the really cool part is he also describes the surface of this UFO acting somewhat like a prism, nearly like it has a diamond-type reflection on it. So, it's just mesmerizing to think, this guy, really, you think he's goofing around and making this stuff up. And I actually put a link to, how some people are saying, oh, this is how it can be done, this is a fake. But, because we always got to have that little opposite polarizing end to say, oh, this is what you can do, throw a penny on a clear sheet of paper and stuff. But this guy is able to verify that something is truly going on. Now, the fuselage, he also mentions, looks like liquid mercury, the way that it's moving and reflecting. And this is just so mind blowing. It's like, as they broke down this video, I'm just like, whoa, this is just getting cooler and cooler. But the edges of the silhouette of this, almost, when you look at something and you look away and you kind of see this little after effect image, they're saying that the silhouette almost mimics itself at times. It's got such a weird presence to itself, this craft that this guy Antonio was able to videotape. So, and he also goes into detail talking about heat dispersion, which shows proof of its movement. So it just gets deeper and deeper, and it also says that the coroners show that the object is large. The reflection analysis of a smokestack in an airplane that flies past shows that these objects weren't planted in there after the video was taken. So it's not like, Antonio sat there and masterminded this and goofed off. So it's pretty cool. So I really welcome people to go and check out the videos that are on artbell.com, and man, make up your mind for yourself, but it's amazing. Okay. It is absolutely amazing.
Now, why is there a lot of stuff happening around this guy? I guess he must be near a portal, maybe, or just... he essentially considers himself a contactee. I mean, I guess just because he seems to be able to draw these things close to him. I don't think he's out there doing anything special to do this, but I find that there are people who just pay attention better than the next, and it's not like he's always doing this solo either. Like, it looks like his wife or somebody's always, it might be next to him in some of his videos, and he's also taken video where he's been out in public, and he's videotaping the people looking up mesmerized as he is in Milan, and he's not just the only one witnessing this, unless he has a really good frisbee throwing arm. Right. Something's going on. Right on. Okay, well, I'll take a look at that for those who want to see what she's talking about. Then artbell.com website right now, and you can take a look at it.
The ship that sent when they were talking about the Mercury thing, that reminds me of that movie, the Disney movie Flight of the Navigator. Mm-hmm. You know how that ship kind of like morphed, kind of like that.
One of my favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah. That's cool. I mean, it's interesting to draw the conclusion that it may be something like that. I mean, I just found it absolutely fascinating, just the analysis of it all. So that's something that's kind of in the now that I think a lot of people aren't aware of. That there's a lot of activity going on over there in Italy, and Milan in particular. So, but I always like to bring some a little history lesson, because it's just so cool. History is awesome.
Absolutely.
So I sent and I put up on for artbell.com as well. There's a relief, which is like a carved wall that shows a Sumerian god by the name of Ninurtu. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Okay, and actually, I got those 3 pictures now that you are going to talk about. I'm going to put them up right now so our people can see them on live stream as well. So go for it.
Sounds good. Yeah. So the Sumerian god Ninurtu, I don't know, Ninurtu, R2D2. He's posed, and like a lot of people are saying that this is a stargate of sorts of what he's standing in. Okay, and you could see clearly that he's like totally pushing a button of some sort. Like he's aiming to push something that I don't know if they had things that could be moved so easily with just a touch. But it was speculated that he was a time traveler of sorts. And this relief, it was difficult to find the estimated date, but it looks like 880 BC, around that time, that they suspect that this carving was created. So if it was so goofy to find this. So if I'm wrong, somebody just throw it at me and say, "Hey, Heidi, it was this date." But anyways, this is so fascinating. What the heck is he pushing? And the wrist device that he's wearing, you can see this circular looking thing. It's not a watch. Supposedly that's what was used for time travel. This is the assumption that's out there. But what is really, really cool, and Alan, I know you're going to dig this, the emblem that's around his neck matches the design of the Knights Templar.
Okay, hold on. All right, now
it's actually a little higher. That looks like a cross.
Oh.
Yeah. So the Knights Templar, what were they? They were responsible for the Christian Crusades. They were the defenders of the Christian faith. And it's like, holy cannoli.
Now this is a Anunnaki. Is what we're talking about here?
He is considered one of them. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
So right there. That's exactly it.
Is he a Nephilim, or is he the fallen angel one? Like if it's a giant, he would be an Nephilim.
You know what? Why this symbol? What is he doing? What is he up to? And you'll see the same god and some others too that are essentially kind of wearing the same kind of wrist thing and have that same kind of symbol on their chest. And it's like, well, were these somehow related to the faith of Christianity to come? I don't know. I mean, it's why accept that symbol, the Knights Templar, at a much later date. I mean, that's what's fascinating to me. But for these guys to have the exact same symbol, essentially, you'll if you flip over to that shield looking symbol.
Like this guy's supposed to be a giant, right? This guy's supposed to be a giant, right? This guy. So if he's a giant,
I'm not certain.
He's the offspring of one of the angels, supposedly. So there would be the fallen one, like the Nephilim.
Right.
So it'd
right.
Be,
you don't have that.
It would be half.
Oh, there it is. That's the Knights Templar.
It is
symbol that they would wear when they would go to battle. And it's the exact same thing that's on this guy's, just on his chest there. Now, just to give a little background about the Knights Templar, the Order of the Templars, simply Templars, were among the most famous of the Western Christian military orders. The Master of the Knights Templars' Great Seal was double-sided and showed the picture of the Dome of the Rock, but some say it's actually the circular dome of the Holy Church, Holy Sepulchre Church. And on one side of the order symbol are 2 knights, and on one horse is on the other side. Let's see here. There was also a smaller single-sided seal which showed the circular Holy Sepulchre, and every Grand Master seal shares distinctive characteristics. So it's just so freaking cool. I'm like, wow, what is this implying here? I mean, the imagination could just fly.
Yeah, and that's where sort of kind of want to talk about later on is the Anunnaki, religion. And, man, we could talk for hours on this subject, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it. And I also just to mix it up a little bit, got a little paranormal happening here for you guys, and that was the picture that you had just pulled up. This is something that happened, I want to say it was July of this year that this picture is taken from. Let me see. I don't see the date here, but this firefighter, Douglas Tippold, was called to a house fire in Gary, Indiana. And when he arrived, he took some photos of the property, and as he was waiting for his partners to unravel a hose, he snapped these shots. And it was just on his cell phone, so just to document the scene and what was going on. And it wasn't until later that his wife noticed something strange in one of the photos, and you could clearly see something quite spooky to the left. To me, it kind of looks like the Hat Man. I don't know. But
yeah. Well, you know what? It looked like a Confederate hat to me.
Oh, there you go.
It's sort of, kind of, but you can go either way. Let me zoom in on that.
They're also saying that in the doorways, there looks like there's a child standing there, a child's face. I don't see that so clearly, but a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, I see the skull in the right side.
Right there, maybe.
Kind of like.
You kind of see that? It's just a little bit.
Yeah,
but man, the one in the left window is definitely there.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, you're good. You're good to zoom in on that. And I also put a link to the video that tells a little bit more detail. Yeah, the kid is supposed to be standing right over there in that area. And it's like, I don't see how some people can question, is this a hoax?
Right.
It's like, come on, it's a firefighter who's just snapping some shots, and why does everything have to be a hoax? Sometimes we just have to take things for what they are, and hello, it's right there, staring you in the face, and it looks like a dude.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean about that hat does look a little different.
Yeah, I can't make
looks
it
like
out.
a pirate.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was thinking Daniel Boone type of a hat, too.
Oh.
But,
there you go.
It's definitely human shape, though. It's definitely human shape. Now, like you said, nowadays, who knows if this is real or not? But when you say it's coming from a credible person like a firefighter,
it's putting his name to it.
Yeah, and then you have to knock it up a notch a little bit. Say, hey, okay, there's a real good possibility this thing is for real. So.
Oh yeah, I'd say so. And then, as always, probably our favorite segment. I love doing odd advice, so we can just chew the fat on what it is that people are experiencing out there, and perhaps give them a little bit of insight. So, my first email for the evening, it says, Dear Heidi, you see, I had a ghostly visitor at 1:30 a.m. Thursday morning in my bedroom. It was a waist-up figure that appeared in my room in complete darkness, having chalky white skin, faceless, black hair, gray clothes, and extending its arms out to me while I was lying in bed. Also, my bed began shaking soon after. Oh, that's horrible. Shaking soon after. I turned away from the ghost, grabbing a flashlight to make sure no one was in my bedroom. The shaking was steady, like someone took their hands and shook one area of the bed. I called out for Archangel Michael, and it immediately stopped. I was scared when I saw the figure, but it quickly subsided almost to a faint glow. What do you think? What could be the ghostly figure? Could my encounter have been a shadow person? That's a freaky one. When people ask about shadow people, I'm like, well, the easy answer is it's all in shadow. This one has a face to it with black hair and gray clothes. That almost sounds like the soldier, a soldier or something like you were talking about there.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. That would definitely make me pee in the pants there. I'm serious. I mean, come on. I've never seen. I've told people, I wish I can see. One of these days, I probably will see a Bigfoot face to face, and I don't know what will happen. And that goes for a ghost or a spirit. Who knows what will happen?
Well, I hear Bigfoot are good eating, so I'm just kidding.
Tastes like chicken.
Tastes like chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Alan would say.
I always, I just do the backup plan. I just reach around, grab a load, throw it at him, and run.
Because it's already there.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's already happened. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
My goodness.
That was-
But this is strange to me though. This guy's story. I mean, so it's like he's lying in bed, and he gets this chalky white guy popping in with gray clothes. I mean, it's not even the Hat Man, but it was something that seemed to be wanting to get this guy's attention for whatever reason. But I love the fact that he did, grab his face and chuck it at him.
Right.
I mean, Archangel Michael, I mean, that's, hey, I go straight to Jesus or God, but, as long as it's related, I suppose,
right.
That's a good route. My
yeah.
goodness. Alan, with the Archangel Michael, I mean, I'm not Catholic, but it seems to be that that's more of a Catholic thing, or am I wrong? Do you know?
I researched him a little bit in the he actually was one of the ones that actually fought the devil and threw him out. Threw him down to here.
Okay.
So I mean, God didn't do it at all. He sent Michael to do it. And then there was another place in, I think it's like Book of Daniel, where Daniel's praying, and the prince, they call it the Prince of Persia. Okay, it's some kind of demon principality that is like a chief prince over that geographic area and actually rules the leaders, okay, the kings there. But this Daniel is praying, and it took, I don't know, I think it was 20 days or 21 days or something like that, and this angel finally materializes in front of Daniel, and he says he falls down on the ground like he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing, touches him and says, stand up and talk to me, and don't worship me, because I'm not God, I'm just an angel, right? And tells him that I actually had started, I heard your prayer when you first started praying, but only I had to fight this Prince of Persia demon. And he was so strong, I went and got Michael to help beat this thing. And then he then with Michael's help, he made it down. So, Michael's like this powerful angel.
There's a show on the Sci-Fi Channel right now about, I believe, Archangel Michael and some other angels, and it pretty much talks about them battling evil and with wings and the whole 9 yards. I'm going, I was watching this with Cheryl, and we were tripping out because this is a religious whole thing. I believe it's Michael the Archangel, and it's a show on it.
Man,
really?
Yeah.
I've seen Constantine, but I didn't hear about Archangel.
I did this little, I'll make this quick, but I did a little research on angels, right? I like to do word study, like some words in the Bible, people will say, they don't mean this or they don't mean that, like Nephilim, for instance. Mm-hmm. It means the fallen one, and then, but only it came from they call it, they're giants, right? And it come from this word, and I can't say the word because it's Greek or something like that. But it doesn't mean giant; it means born in the earth, born on the earth, right? Gia.
Wow, that's wild. I had not heard of that.
Yeah, and then but only they are giants, though. See, that's the thing, is they're also giants. So so it kind of sticks, but it doesn't really mean that they're giants. It just means that they have power. Really, they have this supernatural, half angel, half human power. But okay, now to the study part on the angels. I search and search. I was trying to figure out if there was actually ladies, or women angels, because it always says there's going to be the seed of the angel and the seed of the of a woman that makes these Nephilim. And I found out they're all men. All the angels always show up as men, at least in the Bible and in the book of Enoch and some other ones, unless they have offspring, and then some of the offspring turn out to be the other chromosome, you know. But all the angels, they all are male. Every single one of them is male. There's no description anywhere of them being female. Like when they, I think it's what Sodom and Gomorrah, is that the one where they went in and they warned, I can't remember, Lot or whatever his name is.
Right.
And when they went into the city, there was two of them, and the people in there was banging on Lot's door saying, "Hey, let them two guys out. We want to, you know," they're gay, you know, and they wanted to have relations with them, you know.
Right.
And then when Abraham was getting ready, they changed his name from Abram to Abraham, it was two angels, and they actually sat and ate with them and everything. And I mean, it's just interesting that I couldn't find any female ones, angels.
That's mind-blowing. That's something I'd never looked into, but you surely will see angels depicted as being female quite a bit.
There's actually not that I could find so far. I mean, I might be wrong, but so far I haven't found one female angel. But I have found the offspring of these angels and the women, and there's like 200 angels, and they made a pact, and they said they were going to take women, and they took any women they wanted, and had, you know, babies.
Right.
And those babies wound up and even in the Bible it says those babies actually are mostly men, or all men, and they were the men of renown. And they actually say, like, in the days of Noah, when these things were all over making babies everywhere,
right,
it said in those days, and then like the days after. And now I'm trying to figure out, when is the days after? Like, you know, it's supposed to be.
When does that take place?
You have a lot of time on your hands, huh, Alan?
Yeah. Actually, on this storm that came through, I didn't get out of bed for 4 days, so I just sat there, you know, researching the whole time. Yeah, the storm killed me. But
wow, that's fascinating. But you know, I have seen, you know, artwork of angels depicted, but they're as women, you know. But I guess they're not as ancient as the Bible. These have just been, I don't know, or they just maybe they're young boys and they just kind of look like women to me. I don't know.
Oh, it could. It could.
You know, the little bitty baby ones too. But but I got another quick email here. I'll just read off real quick. But I wanted to tell that person though too. Thanks for writing in. That ghostly figure sounds like it was up to no good.
Yeah.
That it took Archangel Michael to come in and give him a spanking. So I don't think it was a shadow person. So personally, it just sounds like it was some kind of a rotten, low down, good for nothing ghost. Yeah. But there's another one. This is a short one. It says, "Dear Heidi, I am a 46-year-old mother and RN. I have not seen any shadow people, but my 9-year-old daughter has several times. I believe my daughter, and I'm trying to find out what they are and what they want with my girl. I have blessed my house and went to church. I have prayed and tried to teach my daughter to think of happy, positive thoughts. I can usually feel when a place is ominous, but that is not my house. I feel as though my house is happy and safe. Therefore, I am wondering if these shadows are something else. My 7-year-old son had recently questioned me why there was a shadow looking over my daughter while she was asleep." Well, that's horrible. He seems a little confused in the story, but I did get the gist of it. It seems as though it is just my daughter they are looking at. Why? Please help me to put information together. I am just a mom who will do anything to protect my little girl. Thank you, Deborah. Well, boy, the mama bear is out.
That's scary, a little bit.
Gosh, you know, it's so horrible and terrible to hear when little kids are being the victim and the point of interest for something so darn evil. When I hear and see this type of stuff, and, you know, the mom's done all the right things. I think that's fantastic that she's gone. She's blessed the place. She went to church to try to get things right and do everything possible for her little girl. But her place is blessed and protected, apparently. But that light that's coming out of that little girl is so darn strong that I feel that those shadowy things are just looking to stomp out that light. I mean, it's attached to her for some reason. And I don't think, this is my opinion, I don't think that it's ever too soon to introduce, all the elements when it comes to faith. The God element, the Jesus element, all of it. Because this little girl obviously needs to start putting up a front for herself at such a young age. But these things are infiltrating at such a young age, it doesn't even seem to matter anymore. There is no such thing as innocence in the face of these dark, rotten, low-down, good-for-nothing demon things. So, I mean, I'm like, hey, you've got to start educating these kids, because I always say, the darkness and the shadow people, the hat man, all these negative, evil things are not just a possibility that they'll come at us, at each of us at some point. It's a threat that they will be.
Yeah.
So
I think she just needs to say those 2 words.
Well, okay. In this study,
which ones do you throw? Let's hear them.
Well, no, I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean that.
Yeah.
Okay, I did a study, and it came from, and this is in the same line, but I had my wife tell me she doesn't she listens, and she's like, how come she thought, okay, if there's really God and he's nice and everything, these things can't touch kids, right? I mean, that's what, like, the normal Christian whatever teaching is,
right.
That until you're at a certain age where accountability or whatever, I don't know, and who sets that, I don't know. Only what I found out was there isn't no such thing as that, except for, like, when you pass, like when you die, if you can't be accountable for, like, what you were born as. Okay? So every single person is born in the line of Adam. Okay, and the devil owns Adam. Adam gave his power to the devil, so he owns every single person from the time they're born.
Well, and that sucks, Jeff. You're screwed.
The only way, and then I know a lot of people isn't going to like this at all. I mean, this is going to be one of the things that's probably going to be controversial. But that's where the other term "born again" comes, where you believe in Jesus, you become born again, but you're born out of the Adam thing, and now you're born under the Jesus thing, and then you become Jesus, and then the devil doesn't own you anymore, and it breaks all the curses.
How do you become born again then?
That is like a process, and usually it's pretty easy. You just ask them, and you got to give up turn away from your bad and all that stuff. But I think it's a little bit more in detail. Like but yeah, I would go on here because I don't know if we should really go there. If the people want to know, they can find out how. If they're having problems and it's with children, I would find out. I mean, I have 26 grandkids. I raised 6 kids. I would kill anything, that try to go after my kids. And if it's something I can't kill, then I'm going to find out how to battle it. And that's actually what got me on this search. That's exactly what got me on my research to do this.
What's interesting with this lady, Deborah here, too, it's like, she did all the right things. She blessed her house, she went to church and all that. But, when I hear, like, this almost cookie-cutter type thing, this approach, I can't help but to think that there's something lacking a little bit still in the faith venue, because it works. Yeah. It works. Yeah. We've talked about this before. It works to go and, lay down the law with these evil things and throw the light at them, and it just does. And I'm like, what did she not do? What did she not cover? Because, like, these negative things are not allowed in my home. It's not going to happen. And to think that it's hovering over her child so well and so clear that even her other child is able to see this thing something is not fully clear. But you know what I've learned, though, too, Alan and Jeff, this, even when people are able to get these things out of their homes and clear it out where it's not able to linger like that, they still always try to come in through the psyche of a person and may start giving them nightmares and trying to weaken their grip on how they were able to protect their home and whatnot. So that worries me, though, too. It's like, this is a kid. That's why I say, too, it's like she's got to instill something in this child. I wish I knew how old the daughter was. It says 9 years old. Okay. Oh, she is old enough to be able to understand and to throw the stuff out of her life, you know. Truly, it's like I know I called on God. Jesus at that age.
She just has to be given instruction. That's all.
Yeah.
You know, that's all.
The right instruction.
And she has to do it herself.
Indeed. I mean, it can be done.
Right.
So, Deborah, I say, lay down the law, get your child straight with the faith, too, and maybe, you know what, I think what's even more powerful, have your daughter go around the house and bless the house with you. How about that?
Yeah, you need to email her back and pretty much tell her she needs to have her daughter say those 2 words and tell whatever it's there, or if it's more than one, to leave and never come back. That's all she has to say.
Indeed. So, hey, I will tell Deborah, I will write her, and also tell her to take a listen here, too. If for anybody who wants some advice on any of these types of odd experiences, feel free to write me at oddadvicehh@gmail.com, and I will definitely get to your emails here on the show, and all 3 of us will figure it out and do our best to toss it out to the stratosphere.
Right on.
And I want to put that, like, you'll have to message me that.
Oh, yeah.
So that I'm going to put that link down under the videos, like when I get it loaded on YouTube. I'll put that link. That way, when people hear it, you know, they're like, oh, man, I got something, you know, and they can go right to it. And I already linked on the right side of YouTube. I have you linked as a favorite, you know, so everybody can go right to your channel. And so, I mean, I'm linking everybody up slowly but surely, learning how to do all this stuff, you know.
It is a process.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Wow.
So, hey, that was my story for the evening. I got all the goods. You know, I have so much fun doing this reports with you guys because it's so varied and it just goes so deep, and it goes to the light and to the dark.
Yeah. Right on. So, all right, Heidi, thank you very much, and we will talk to you next Sunday.
Indeed. Have a great night, guys.
Thanks.
Bye, Heidi.
See
Have
Heidi.
a great week.
Bye.
Thanks. See ya. Okay, that was Heidi Hollis. And for those who don't know, she is also the author of several books, and the main book is The Hat Man. And if you go and Google it, she is all over the place on that book. So it's a bestseller on the paranormal side, and she's doing really well with that particular book all over the world, not just in America. So go take a watch and go buy it and then read it, because you know, the Hat Man is seen all over the world, and people have experiences with that, whatever it is, and it's a scary thing. So,
you know, if everybody would like talk to their relatives and stuff like that and say something about the Hat Man, they will get first-hand stories from your own family. That's how much the Hat Man is out there.
And you know, and like, you know, a lot of people keep it silent. They keep it secret. They keep them to themselves because they think either they're imagining it or they don't want to be laughed at. You know, we're trying to change that here. You know, we're trying to make it where, you know, this stuff is now, you know, everybody is witnessing, is having, you know, sightings, and just it's not the crazy people. You know, it's not crazy people witnessing these things, dude. It's regular people. All right, hold on here. I got an email. I went home and felt well, so sorry. No problem. Emerald has left the building. She's not feeling good. She's like sleeping over there and coughing. So I said, get out of here now, because the studio's cold. So
we don't want to get sick either.
Yeah. So, all right, let's continue on. I want to talk about, and you know, like I said, we talk about everything here, and I believe, and so does Ellen, that, you know, religion we consider to be very weird and odd. paranormal, because it just happens to be, we're talking to people about ghosts and demons and all that, and that's paranormal stuff, right? Absolutely. Well, how do we get rid of it? Because you can go and investigate until the cows come home, and sure, maybe get some stuff on video, but big freaking deal, have you helped the person in any way? No. All you do is show people what you've got, and that's it. We're here to help people. We're here to for you to come up to us and to tell us your story, and for us to say, you know what, I had a person last week who saw the same thing, and that person's gonna go, oh God, I thought I was losing it, and I'm going, no, you weren't. Or they were, it's like Heidi was saying, sleeping in their bed, and all of a sudden wake up and there's something there, and people freak out. They freak out really bad, and sometimes it takes them a whole new direction where it makes them go crazy sometimes, and people need help, and that's why we're here. So if you have questions and you want some answers, hopefully we can answer them for you here. That's what we're here for, you, to whatever you've had on your shoulders for 20 years, for 30 years, and that goes for sightings. If you have pictures, if you have videos that you finally want to bring out and show somebody that's not going to make fun of them, I want to see it. All right? I want to see the dang picture that you took 30 years ago of a hairy 10-foot creature walking across the street or in your yard picking an apple or an orange on your tree. I want to see it.
Or a UFO hovering right above your house, and you got a clear picture,
And I want to see it. Mm-hmm. Man, oh boy, do I want to see it. Okay, so there is on our website at paranormalcentral.net, there is a form, Ellen, placed there that you can actually fill it out and send us an email whenever you want, and it goes directly to me. And if you're writing it to Ellen, well, then I will send it to Ellen. Okay, so send us an email. I also have a 24-hour hotline. Now, I've been getting a lot of calls, and it's early in the morning and late at night. I would prefer for you, if you're going to call the 24-hour hotline and give me a story or tell me about a certain subject, do it during the day. Because it's weird, but I've been getting a lot of calls on the East Coast at 10, 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning over there, or 1 o'clock in the morning. What are you doing calling me at that time? Not unless you're witnessing something that's awesome, but I'm probably in bed by then, only because, we are still working people here, and we have lives and we have families and all that. So I do want to hear your stories. Send them through the email, and it'll get to either one of us, whoever it's supposed to be for. All right. So okay, now
that the same goes on YouTube. If you go to, I think it's like the About tab, there's also a link that you can email. It goes to the email, Singer Paranormal, or Singer Paranormal at AOL.com, and then there's links to everything on the YouTube, straight to the Paranormal Central live stream, Art Bell, Dark Matter, the like page on Facebook. Everything is right there. It doesn't matter which website you hit, you can find a way to contact us.
Right. Also, as you know, we are going to start, actually we've already started filming a little bit. We're going to start filming a whole lot in January for the show on the Fox Network. Now, found out that we have a lot of people who are watching us right now. And I mean, there's producers and possibly some networks. We haven't signed anything with the Fox. The Fox down here in the Central California is giving us a shot. So there are no contracts signed whatsoever, but they've given us some airtime, which blows us away. And we're going to be giving them 8 episodes, and we're going to start filming in January. But there still hasn't been any contract signed. So if there are some networks and some producers out there right now who think that who want to take us and do something with what we're doing here, then you need to give me a call or email us. All right, because like I said, what we're doing right now is not set in stone as of yet. I mean, very well, we could do 2 or 3 episodes on the Fox Network, and Sinclair Broadcasting could say, all right, let's sign something. It hasn't happened yet. So if there's a cable channel out there who wants to do something with us, and I tell you right now, we are ready. We have everything in motion. I have so many good episodes, it's not even funny. But regardless, we're going to be filming for the Fox network here in Fresno. But if there are any other companies or networks out there that want to throw an offer at us and make us their home, our show their home, then you contact us ASAP. Like I said, right now the Fox network has given us the opportunity to give us an hour airtime, no charge to us, because they know our shows are going to fly. All right, or otherwise they would not be doing this for us. So this is going out to production companies, to producers. The show idea is already set in stone. It's mine. The name has been trademarked, and the show idea has been trademarked as well. So, but that doesn't mean anything. If you have an idea, if there's another country, because I believe there's a couple of countries out there who are looking at us right now for possibly licensing the show overseas as well, because I think we'll do really well overseas. You guys need to give me a call ASAP or send us an email. My phone number, 24-hour hotline, and I say 24-hour hotline, and I just told you not to call me early in the morning. But
if they're
you're gonna have to,
like doing something at 2:00 in the morning, and there's a ship flying by, and they're videotaping it. Call. Okay. Yeah. But if you're on the other side of the world, and obviously during the day is nighttime on this end, call me anyways. Okay. I'm gonna give you my phone number. And this is a 24-hour hotline, and it is area code 559-287-8367. 559-287-8367. The last four numbers represent the letters UFOS. All right, I've had that phone number now going on a little over 10 years, and it's a cell phone that I have. Apart from my personal cell phone that I carry with me 24/7. So like I said, you can call me anytime, or you can email us at the form at sangerparanormal.net. But right now we are taking, again, producers, production companies, networks, sponsors. Yeah. If you guys want to jump on right now, because we are going to hit hard, as in January, we're going to start filming these episodes, and we have some killer episodes that are going to blow people away. And we're still continuing this.
Oh, yeah.
So all the people that are listening all around the world right now, and I mean all around the world, we're still here. We're not going anywhere. This is just something that we're doing like in tandem of this.
Right.
So don't freak out and panic and say, oh, no, they're going to go away. Nah, we're not going nowhere.
We're going to have a TV show and a radio, internet radio TV show, I guess, if you can say it that way. So. But yeah,
and if they let me, I'll even have that on the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like after a certain amount of time.
Right. We put that on there. So, like I said, give us a call or send us an email. And I don't care who you are. If you're in the business and you want to get us in, you want to associate yourself with us, then do it. Give us a call. Well, excuse me. All right. We got about 25 minutes left. So, actually, you want to hand me the phone? Does anybody, like I said, Emerald just left, so I got to get the phone from her desk, and we're going to get the phone over here. Does anybody want to call in and talk about whatever? Now's the time to do it. We're going to go ahead and take calls at area code, is that the iPad? Area code 559-287-8367. I'm not going to take any block calls, so make sure it's unblocked. And come on, no, some real stuff now. I don't want, because we don't have people taking a listen before we get the phone call. This is going to be straight live, all right, you guys? So but anyway, we'll go ahead and keep the phone here. If you guys want to call in, go for it. Or if not, we're going to go ahead and talk about some other stuff here. It is almost the end of the year. God, we got 2 more weeks left, right? We're at the 14th, so 14, 15, 16 more days, 17 more days until 2015. That's pretty scary. We have grown a great deal from when we first started. You would have never told me in a million years that we would have been on artbell.com. Never in a million years. That would have not even come across than my desk. I mean, I would have told you you're absolutely out of your freaking mind, but we are, and we appreciate Art Bell and Keith for all that they have done for us, because I believe really it's because where we're at now, it's given us a lot of credibility, and it helps a lot. It helps a lot.
So especially like I'll share a little bit, like the YouTube. I mean, it's over 1,000 views a day, and wow. I mean, that might not sound like a lot to the big time YouTube guys or whatever, but it adds up when it's 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 views a day. So if you're like sponsoring, it's continually going up, and right now we're at the like 12 to 1,500
now
views per day.
Alan is saying that, and Art Bell's going to like this, that he's getting a lot of emails stating that people who listen on C2C are now coming over and watching us. Okay, because they're finding out about us, which is awesome.
And they're going back and looking at back shows.
Yes.
Watching lots of shows.
Yes. We do have an archive back in there, okay, guys? So, now I was going to talk about something. I just spaced it out.
You know that Anunnaki symbol thing that Heidi showed? Mm-hmm. Now, that symbol on that lizard thing is pre Templar by
a long time.
So they must have took that.
Well, they known about it, actually. That's they took it, and because they knew about. See, now
my research is showing that line of lizard people is not gone. That they actually, when we were talking about the seed of the woman and the seed of the Nephilim a little while ago, they mixed in to a human line, and that's who our rulers are and our presidents, and that we were talking about earlier. They're not gone. They're very well here today, controlling our corporations and our governments and all this stuff, and everything that we were taught. It might be wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we lived this little dreamland, and now the dreamland's falling apart, and reality is smacking up everyone.
Matter of fact, that's right off of one of the songs for Information Society. We all live in a dream. It's not what you think, guys. And it's hard to comprehend that. It really is. I mean, the stuff that we talk about here is just you got to be kidding me. It's we're talking reptilians, really? We're talking Bigfoots, really, guys? How old are you? All right, but we're not the only ones.
Like, okay, you're from the 80s, right? Did you used to watch He-Man?
He-Man. It doesn't ring a bell. I know what He-Man.
The cartoon He-Man. He had reptilians.
Okay. Now, if you're talking about what I think you are, there is on YouTube an actual the opening of the cartoon. It talks about the asteroid coming between the Earth and the Moon, pulling the atmosphere away, and the Earth cracking. And now they're back in a caveman. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
Okay, then you have the Lost World when they have the Slee Stack.
That's okay. The Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost, yeah.
And Slee Stack, yeah, guys. Slee Stack, okay.
Another
reptilians.
Yeah.
All right.
When you go back and you look in all these things, even the Last Starfighter.
It has a reptilian in there.
Grig is the lizard guy, the gunner or whatever. I mean,
now, since you mentioned that, and we talked about it, I've got the movie. I'll have to record that particular, but what's the kid's name? I don't remember what the kid's name is, but he's already either on the ship where they came and picked him up because obviously he was good at the game, and he's on the ship and they're being briefed with all the other aliens, right?
Right.
Now, he is the kid who's now in his suit, is talking to, what is it, Grid? What is the name?
Grig or something like
okay.
That, yeah.
And then he asked Grig, why don't you guys come out and tell the world about the existence of all this? And then Greg said, because they're not ready yet.
Right.
That is right in the movie, because they're not ready yet. And we hear that all the time, because the people on Earth are not ready for this yet. All right.
Well, I read something today. I don't know if it was my brother that posted it or one of our viewers posted it that's made friends with me on Facebook. No, I think it was Donald Marshall that posted it.
Okay.
Donald Marshall, he's the one that goes down and he hangs with the vril, the lizards, right? I mean, this guy. I mean, if you want to read some stuff, you guys, I know some of you guys already know, but go on Facebook and type in Donald Marshall and read that guy's stuff. Oh my God, you'll be blown away. But anyways, he put that the light people have now, they made an agreement with the dark lizard people, and they are giving the dark amnesty for all the bad things they've done over the past centuries, and now they have to turn the power back over to the light, which I don't understand, what they're talking about, like, I don't know, Palladians, I guess, I don't know. But so now we're in this area of enlightening, which kind of is like enlightening, but only now the dark powers are going to give up the power. And he's talking about all the kings and queens and rich people and corporate guys, all that have this reptilian bloodline in them. And if they turn over everything and they don't fight it, they'll get amnesty. If they don't, they're going to get punished for all that they've done. Over
the bad is going to get punished. So you're talking like you just said, then all the powers of the world, then
right. The light and the dark came to an agreement, and they're, I mean, and this is, I have no idea if this is real. I mean, don't hold me to this, you guys. I'm just saying that, we could talk about all this stuff and we know some of it's real. I don't know how far real or not real it gets, or how far down the rabbit hole you want to go.
Right.
But only I read that today, and Donald Marshall was saying that in the cloning center, and that's another one I don't know. All I know is when you talk of Star Wars, I know you guys like Star Wars and stuff like that. They're cloning the Star Wars clones. I mean, oh my God, there's a bunch of movies on that too. Where they tell you that they've been cloning. But anyways, they made a deal, and then we're in the middle of that process of
so who is
the power
switch. Who is the light?
It doesn't really say. It just says the light. People that are good or light, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting read. It's wide open on Donald Marshall's page. You could go check it out. Okay. He'll love the hits. He wants to actually spread this agenda, because he says he's the one to bring this all out, and he's actually been saying this for a long time, that the light, we're going to crack down on the dark, on the vril and everything, and he's been telling the Queen of England and everybody that they better give up, otherwise they're going to get punished. I mean, this is something he's been saying for years. Somebody else wrote this article, and he found it and put it on his wall. So it's somebody totally else.
So maybe then the light is coming this way. Do you think maybe the light is here already? I have a difficult with the light being here already.
Me too, because most everybody isn't really that nice.
It's the Earth is pretty messed up right now. So this light, I believe that our government is preparing for something. All right, and they've been doing this now for the past 3, 4, 5 years, hard preparing. And when I mean preparing, the government's military underground facilities, they're building it, making it stronger. They know something is coming. Now the question is what. We were talking about as a matter of fact, you were talking about how the Russia was on the East Coast and they're out there doing some stuff, and then just past the week, was it Drudge or I don't know who was, but they're allowing Russian military airplanes to be flying over the United States. All right, that tells me that we're working with them on something. Oh, yeah. Okay, but the question is, what is this for a good thing or a bad thing? Are they working together?
Are they going to fight the light?
Are they going to fight something that's coming this way? Yeah. You know, to us, it might be the light. To them, it's a bad thing because maybe whatever it's coming this way is to save us from the dark.
Well, I from what I've kind of a little bit researching this, a little bit, not a lot. What I get out of it is that they don't. They've been warned ever since like the 40s. Our government, all the kings and queens and political powers of the world, and they're refusing to give up, and mostly it's a power and money thing. They like the taxes, and they like to charge you at the pump, and they like to pay for the power lights, and
right.
They like to add the water meters, so they don't want to give up.
We got a call coming in from Washington. Hello, you're on with Paranormal Central. Who's this?
Hi, this is Todd. I'm calling from Washington.
Hi, Todd.
I love your show, and I was calling to talk about like some paranormal activity I had.
Okay.
Like I was using the Dr. ET app, and my friend made ET contact with it.
Okay, you're breaking up.
We did.
You're breaking up. Are you on speaker? Are you on speakerphone or?
I'm on Wi-Fi.
Okay. Yeah. Stop moving if you can. Just stand still and then go ahead and talk, because you're skipping words and we're not understanding everything you're saying.
Okay. I was at the ET app. I was using Dr. Greer's website.
Okay. You know what? Yeah, you're still cutting in and out. Like you're going.
I'm sorry. I can call back on it.
Yeah. Why don't you call back and get it clear in the channel or something? All right. Call back in.
Call back on a landline if you got one.
Yeah. I mean, he was cutting, and I couldn't even understand him. So
yeah, he might be talking about those new things that I've been seeing that everybody's got now, and I think they're bogus. But
what, the apps?
Yeah,
Yeah, my wife and my kid,
tuning the radio station and
yeah.
Oh, it said my name. Like,
no, he mentioned Dr. Greer.
Oh,
I think that's where he mentioned that he got the app. I think maybe Dr. Greer put out an app. I don't know if that's what he's talking about or not, but hopefully he'll call back in. So
that one guy that Heidi was talking about, the Italian guy, the aliens give him a message almost exactly like Billy Meyer and tell him, hey, step outside, bring your camera and or get your camera right now, and then he goes and looks in a certain direction and there they are. Almost exactly like Billy Meyer. I don't know if he went any rides.
Okay. Now let's talk about the good and the evil. What were we just? You were talking.
I was saying that they don't want to give up power.
Don't give up power. Okay. You know what? And you know what? There are TV movies actually out there that talk about what we're talking about. This was just on TV. I don't know if it was last night or the night before. The Fifth Element. All right, you guys. Think about that movie. I know you, and for all those who are watching this right now, I know every one of you have seen this movie. It's one of my favorite movies. All right, now, the Supreme Beam, right? What's coming their way is a black, dark meteor, and behind it are 3 ships, and what sounds like to be evil, very much evil, so. I think there's a little bit of realism in that. Because Nibiru, the black planet, the planet's going to basically devastate Earth if it hits us, and what can protect us is the Supreme Being. Right? So just think about the Fifth Element for a bit, okay? And I know there's other shows out there that just hasn't hit me, but that show brings evil and good in the whole 9 yards. Because, you're talking a priest, and just, it sort of kind of like sounds like what we're talking about. It does.
And I got to turn that around.
It's we got 15 minutes, yeah. So Alan's gonna get up and turn around the computer because Emerald had to leave. She was not feeling good, and so we let her go. And be careful not to unplug anything, because that's basically our out to art bell. And you know what? You want to turn just yeah. Be careful. So okay. So yeah. Hold on, Alan is turning around the computer. It's scary. What did that say on there? So he's looking on there. So guys, so for the okay. So yeah, I believe. What the heck was that? Uh-oh. You still on?
Yeah, he is.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I heard it click for some reason. I don't know what that click was. Okay.
Didn't do the hashtag on the.
Oh yeah, we forgot. So, all right. So yeah, I believe something is coming this way, and I've always had that feeling, and I've always also had the feeling that we're here on a quest. I really do. I think we're here.
Have you ever noticed that, on Facebook they have those things and it'll say, I think you posted it, and it was about, are you an earth angel or something like that? Is that you?
Danny had it on Paranormal Central, and then I think I put it on my wall just because, yeah.
And it lists all these things, if you're good and blah, 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 blah. How many people, when they read that, identify with that?
Actually,
almost everyone identifies thinking that they're some kind of earth angel and have a something.
Okay, now we got one coming in from Georgia.
Right on, Georgia.
Hello, Georgia. You're talking to Paranormal Central. Hello? Paranormal Central, who's this? Hello?
Are you there?
Yeah, get the volume up. Hello, Georgia. And they hang up the phone. Yeah.
And they're gone.
And they're gone. So
it was a reptilian. They're messing with us.
You and I remember you told me this I don't know about last week about your minister friend saying that what we're doing is not upsetting but freaking people out who go to his church.
Yeah.
Explain that to everybody.
Well, they aren't learning about this stuff. In fact, they
okay, so they're not learning how to get rid of the evil in church.
That, and they're not learning. They're only learning certain things, and we're teaching everything, and they're not learning really how. Like, I was sitting and talking, and these guys were holding their ears so they wouldn't hear what I said because they were scared of it. I mean, grown men.
Wow. Hello, this is Paranormal Central. Hello?
Oh, no, not again.
Paranormal Central, Georgia, can you hear me? All right, no more Georgia. I won't. They're just listening. They're not even talking. I can hear them breathing. So, okay, so
heavy breathers in Georgia.
Okay, so the minister told you that, because you would think the priest or the ministers would teach their, the people in their church how to cope with evil and how to get rid of it.
That's not, you know what their message is?
What?
See, and I don't know because I don't go to church.
Right.
I had to go and, talk with them and then listen to a few of them.
Now we got Washington.
It's the money. They're teaching everybody prosperity. They want, your tithes.
Hey, Washington, you're back on.
Hey, I got on their phone line here.
There you go.
Oh, you do sound good now.
Okay. I wanted to ask you guys if you guys heard about this Dr. Stephen Greer and the Disclosure Project.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I tried downloading the app, this ET Contact app, and me and my friend, we had some kind of ET contact within about a minute of using this, like playing tones of crop circles and whatnot, and we felt this crazy electromagnetic energy over our bodies, and it was really intense, and we didn't see anything, but we definitely could feel something, and my friend, he felt it too. And I saw a bunch of reviews on the website, people within like 10 or 30 minutes getting all kinds of different contact, and I was curious what you guys thought about that.
I never heard of it.
Well, you know what? Coming from an app, there are a lot of apps out there, and there are like some apps that allow you to zero in on ghost, and you know what? These are just apps. I don't know if what you downloaded, and granted, it's coming from Greer and all. He's highly respected, but I don't know. I'm not going to tell you yes or no because I don't have the app, and I haven't used it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just wanted to enlighten you guys. If you guys didn't know, we tried it out, and we definitely had some kind of crazy contact, and it was definitely worth the $6 or whatever I paid for it. It was fun. So.
Okay. Well, I mean,
that's something we'll try.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to go do some research on it.
Okay.
But no, go ahead.
And also, I had some. Basically, when I was younger, I was living in a place that had poltergeist type stuff, and I was attacked by demons for like 2 years, and we had to exercise and stuff, and I was baptized with holy oil, and I had a crazy experience.
Did it work?
Yeah, it worked, and with the name of Jesus Christ, I can cast away the demons now, and they don't bother me anymore.
Okay, well, there you go. You said those 2 words, right? And who told you to say those 2 words?
I went to these demon experts, and they do this for spare time, but they had told me that if you kind of have to do it personally, it has to come within the person to ask for their higher power, like Jesus or whatnot, to protect them and make these bad people go away. And it definitely worked for me.
Well, there you go.
But I'll take my comments off there. But thank you, guys are awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for calling, man. Appreciate it. Keep listening. Okay. All right. Thanks. See ya.
Bye.
So there you go. He said it worked for him, and Alan had to find out on his own how to do it. No one really taught him. Apparently, people know how to cast out the evil, the demons.
Well, I actually seen it done, not here, but in Africa.
Okay, right, that's right.
But only I didn't when you get back here, nobody knows about it. It's like a specialized information, I know we only got like a few minutes.
I think it says 4 minutes up there.
Yeah.
Those 2 words. And again, we're not a religious show, guys. So for those people who are hating us because we're talking about Jesus Christ, no, we are, we are helping people. Just if you don't believe in Jesus, that's fine. But when you have people coming to tell us that it's working, now we got Austin, Texas.
Right on, Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas, you're on the air.
Oh, hello? Hello?
It's that same guy from last time. So, all right. Watch your time, and that is from Emerald. And yeah, I'm looking at it, and I think it says 3 minutes. You're gonna have to get up and get closer for me. Because I can't tell at all. It's maybe what we got to do is next time is get that hooked up to one of these, and then that way we can see it right here. Huh?
I can do that, or
yeah, next time.
Put us a little monitor.
Yeah, so we can have the monitor over here. So, okay, 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Okay, you know what? I can see this. So, and watch your time. You got 3 minutes. You got 2 minutes. How's Emerald figuring this out? Oh, Emerald is on Skype. Is that what it is? Emerald is doing it all from the iPhone. Oh, you turkey.
Emerald.
So,
cool.
All right, that's pretty much, we're
Emerald, you're
almost out of
rocking.
here. Time flies by when you are having a heck of a time. We're having a blast here, guys. So, we're going to come back next Sunday. We're going to do it all over again, and we're going to have some more cool stuff to show you and to talk about. And there you go. So, all right, you guys. My name is Jeffrey Gonzalez and that's awfully loud, with Alan Thomas
Good night,
and Emerald,
everyone.
who is sick. We'll talk to you guys
Good night, Emerald.
Sunday, wherever you may be. Take care. Peace out. And I hope you witness something that you cannot explain. Good night.
You have been listening to Paranormal Central with Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas, broadcasting worldwide at paranormalcentral.net and on artbell.com. Stay tuned for next time. Remember to keep your eyes to the skies, and we hope you witness something you cannot explain.
I'm looking for you. You're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe the unexplained? Look into the sky. You realize you're not alone. Open your eyes. You can find the trails that control.
They saw inside. They said that when they looked inside the crate, because they could see it in the dark, and they shined a flashlight in there, they saw what they saw was the shape of a man, but it was nothing. It was not a man sitting in there. So it was kind of like sitting on a chair, kind of like a rocking chair type of thing. So they couldn't get a height estimate of it, and it was huge. And the frame, there was a huge frame on this creature, and it was covered in black hair, and it was strapped down. They could see shackles on its legs, its feet, its arms. So the face didn't look like a man, but it had some features of a man. The worker said it looked more like a monkey or a gorilla with long, dirty hair. And they said that when they looked up at him, and they said that it looked like it was trying to say words, but only drool was coming out of his mouth. Then they were under the impression that it was sedated, and because it couldn't keep its head up, it kept on resting on its chest. It would kind of like pick it up for a second, but it couldn't keep it up. And they saw an empty water bottle nailed to the side of the crate, like the tube, maybe feeding the creature while it was being transported. And they also saw an IV stand that was strapped to the other corner of the crate, and it was stuck into its arm.
Ew.
He said the odor was overpowering. It smelled like urine, waste, and body odor. And it was they didn't know. The grandfather was said that he stuck to his story, and even when he was getting ready to die, the grandkids asked him again if he remembered the story, and he said, "Yep." He said it happened just the way I said it did, but there's so much I left out. He said I didn't think you'd be able to handle everything that happened. He said, but remember, I went back the next day, and I still worked there for 2 more years, so there's definitely more to the story. He said, but I'll come back tomorrow, and I'll tell you the rest of it. And the grandfather died.
Oh, man.
Wow.
But this is an actual place. I looked it up, and it is a real estate, but if you Google it too, there's plenty of stories about it. But what it was or what happened to it, nobody knows. Or nobody's talking yet.
Right.
Maybe because his grandfather talked, maybe the other guys will come forward. Because apparently there was 8 of them. Only 2 of them saw it.
Man.
We'll have to wait for those guys to come forward.
I would bet that the government has piles of them.
But it does say on their website, the Duke Farms, that they did have a lot of animals, including camels and horses and stuff on the property there. Kind of like a little zoo. So who knows how much 300 million will buy that this lady had.
Wow.
Like Hearst Castle, he had a bunch, like a zoo.
Yeah, he had his own zoo there too.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have something like that. You wouldn't let it go though. I don't think. If it wanted revenge, you could just like dump it.
There were some people in the comments on this because it was on a big website, and there was a kid there that said that he had tried to fish at some of the lakes inside that property because they had lakes everywhere, and he said it was so heavily guarded that every time he tried to get in there, they'd chase him off.
Wow.
So they're trying to protect something in there.
Yeah, you think?
Maybe it's still there.
Wow. Very cool.
Like that guy, we went out up to Mount Owen. That's the mountain we were trying to remember.
Yeah.
And the guy's telling us, man, watch out for the tiger. You know.
Right.
We're like, a tiger? Oh my God. You know, we drove around everywhere. We never saw the gazelle, the tiger, the zebra. We didn't see nothing. You know. A deer. We saw a deer.
Right.
But,
all right, I got the next photograph up, and it has a couple of footprints. I think that's what it is.
It has 3 pictures with it.
Okay.
This is from the BFRO website. It's from, this happened in 2000.
Cool, huh?
and they can only see a little bit of it.
A little bit of it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in a big
It's
studio.
huge.
We're in a big studio here, guys. And for those who are listening to us for the first time, we're actually in a massive studio where we're going to be shooting the actual TV show. And so we got a little bit of everything in here. So I can't wait for that, and we'll talk about that later on. But there you go. So, okay, at the beginning of every show, we have a person who thinks he knows a lot about Bigfoot.
Thinks he does.
I think he does.
Yeah.
Danny Valderrama, and I guess we can go ahead and get him on the phone, and Miss Emerald is going to go ahead and dial him in. And she's in La La Land over there. She's not feeling too good. She's and we'll get him on the line.
Got a bad apple tonight.
I did.
Yeah.
Did it have a worm in it?
apples.
Did it have a worm in it?
No.
No? Why? Because it fell on the ground over there.
No, I don't know. All of a sudden, she took one bite and she goes, "I got a bad apple," and I started busting up. It was funny.
And so, Mr. Danny Valderrama, are you there?
Hello. I'm talking
Hey, Danny.
from Hawaii.
You talk what?
I'm in Hawaii.
You're in Hawaii, and
Yeah.
you better wake up because you're dreaming. Right? Yeah.
You must have rode
dreaming.
Santa's sleigh, right?
You're dreaming. I think everybody would. Nah, you know what? Hawaii, to me, I went there one time, and it really didn't interest me much. It didn't.
I've never been there.
No, it's now my wife, on the other hand, Cheryl Diane, whatever her name is, if she could move there in a heartbeat, she would. In a heartbeat. So maybe one of these days we're going to have to get a summer home there. If we ever make some money, we'll see what happens. But
Maybe she'll let you visit her.
yeah. You know what? Yeah, I can see that happening. All right. Mr. Danny, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah. So are you tired like me?
I'm tired.
Yeah. How many hours are you working a day?
Probably about 10, 11, maybe 12 sometimes.
Yeah, that's when yesterday I worked 12 hours, and today I was supposed to work 12 hours, but I got off 8 hours, and I'm hoping that they're not going to get me in trouble because, the show is really important. So, we're not making $1 million here, folks. Just because you see a freaking nice studio here doesn't mean we're making any money. So, I have to work overtime in order to provide this for all you guys. So,
Yeah, we did a lot of dumpster diving.
yeah. So, all right, Danny. Danny sent me over some photographs, and we're going to be looking at them right now on live stream. If you are listening to us at artbell.com, you can go over to their website at artbell.com, and right there on the homepage, you will see a link that says Paranormal Central. Click on that, and you will have some pictures that Danny's going to be talking about. And then at the second half of the show, we're going to take a break because this is a 3-hour show, and so we kind of need time. We don't have commercials here, guys. So at an hour and a half, we're going to take a 5 to 7 minute break, and we're going to take a little breather, come back, and then Heidi Hollis is going to be calling in, and we're going to talk to her about her information on ghosts and UFOs, and so she's our second reporter at the second half of the show. So right now we have Danny.
Actually, if anybody wants to buy commercials in that,
I never thought about that.
Email us off of our YouTube page and let us know that you want in and we'll advertise you during our break.
Right now we are doing really well, you guys. We are being watched all over the world, and I am not joking. And
the government.
And the government. So,
yeah, them too.
So yeah, if you want to purchase some commercial time here, video and audio, or just video, you let me know, and we'll make it happen for you. So, okay, let's go ahead and go over to the Sasquatch report for December the 14th, and let's go
12, 13, 14.
That was today. Yesterday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, 12, 13, 14.
Today's 14?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No,
so it's 12, 14, 14.
Your day.
Welcome to Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from Central California with your hosts Jeffrey Gonzalez and Alan Thomas. Broadcasting video worldwide at ParanormalCentral.net and broadcasting audio on the Dark Matter Network at ArtBell.com. Are you ready to witness something that you cannot explain?
I'm looking for you. You're looking for me. We have to decide what it will be. Can it be true? Can I believe the unexplained? Look into the sky. You realize you're not alone. Open your eyes. You can find the trail that goes wrong.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Central, broadcasting live from the bottom left-hand corner of the Nevada Triangle. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Gonzalez. I am your host for the show. I am also the founder of a group called the Sanger Paranormal Society. I have been investigating the paranormal going over 10 years now, so we're just not a talk show host. We're actually investigators, so can't say that we don't know what we're talking about, because we kind of do. It's not only myself here, but I have a team. I have a co-host who's to my right and is to your left, Alan Thomas.
Hi, y'all. How you doing?
And ruminating the board back in the dark corners of the studio at Paranormal Central, we have Emerald Bonilla.
I'm back.
I'm back. Thank you for showing up wherever you may be. If you are watching us on livestream.com, then you are looking at us right now. I am so sorry, but this is what we look like. If you don't want to see us, then you can go to the Dark Matter Network at artbell.com. Yep, you heard me right. Artbell.com is broadcasting us live audio worldwide on the Dark Matter Network. So you got two ways of catching the show. So don't say you couldn't find it, because it's there no matter what. It's there. Go and catch us, live video or audio. So, all right, we're going to have a great show just like we have every Sunday. We have, let's just say we have surprises. We have people calling in. You know what? We had a guest who was supposed to show up tonight, but he had something happen. He had to go to work, and that is William Stillings. I was looking very excited to have him on, because we've had him on several times before. But yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to get on here pretty soon, and we'll be able to get on him for about an hour and a half, and just pick his brains and all that stuff that you've heard about, William Stillings and Mars and Visaggio and all that kind of good stuff. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and kind of get into it here. Again, thank you. If this is your first time, where have you been? We've been doing this. Actually, I've been doing this show since 2007. Yeah, that's right. 2007. Started off in a little studio, a little tiny room by myself, trying to figure out how to do all this, and got the hang of it. And now we're at a point where, look where we're at now. So, all right. And we are now, okay, this picture that just came up. Go for it, number one.
All right, this first one has two pictures. It's from the Crypto Crew. It's dated December 9th, 2014. This is by Thomas Markham. He put out a call for Bigfoot sightings and UFO sightings, and he sent in this report. It's kind of an old report, but he's just getting around to reporting it because he happened to see this call go out for reports. His name is Rudy, and he emailed Thomas, and so Thomas has his contact information. It happened right here in California, not too far away from us, in the Kern and Kings County. It happened in the late summer of 1977, about 1 o'clock, and it was on Highway 41.
Now, that 1 o'clock in the morning or afternoon?
1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And it says between Avenal and Paso Robles. When I look on the map, it's like closer to between Kettleman City and Paso. And it was a 10-second sighting, and he had 5 witnesses with him. And they were coasting down a hill on Highway 41 going north, and they saw a car coming up the hill, and they saw the car suddenly hit the brakes, and they were expecting a deer to come shooting across the road there. Instead, they saw a huge, dirty, brown, hairy critter standing over the center line. And as he got closer, he had to hit his brakes, and when he did, he said the creature turned its whole body to face his car, and then it took 2 steps and was gone. He said they estimated the height about 8 to 9 feet tall. He said that it was in the White Canyon area of Highway 41.
Okay, White Canyon. We go that route when we go visit the mother-in-law in Morro Bay. And right when you get off of Highway 1 and you start to go over the hill to Morro Bay, and there's a national forest campground right in there.
It's like a Atascadero. Is that what you're talking about?
No, actually, I don't even know what the city is. No, it's actually in the forestry area between the 1 and the 101. As soon as you get off the 101 and then you start to go over the hill, right?
That's a Atascadero.
Is that Atascadero? Okay.
And then you go from Atascadero to Morro Bay.
Okay. Then more close to Morro Bay, there is a campground in there. There was a Bigfoot sighting in there.
And there's loaded with poison oak.
There was a Bigfoot sighting in there, and I remember Cheryl was telling me about this. And but yes, so. And
there's a lot of deer out there too, because we've seen deer in the fog going down one of those highways. And all of a sudden, there's a deer in the road.
Yeah, but like where you're saying that's like desert.
Yeah,
there's no
kind of like desert. In
nothing.
1977, who knows how many trees were out there? But near there is Parkfield, and we've been to Parkfield because that's right where the San Andreas Fault is, where the two plates come together. And there's plenty of trees there. There's like creeks down there, and all the trees that are in the creek there. So
I worked out there.
We've heard of desert squatches too. They're around Edwards Air Force Base. So.
Yes, exactly.
1977, I worked out, or it was 76, 77. They built a fire extinguisher factory out there in the middle of nowhere, right? And I stayed in a motel in Paso Robles, but we would drive back and forth to that place, and there's big giant oak trees, but they're not like a forest. You know what I mean? Mostly down in the creeks is where the trees were.
Yeah, that's where I've usually seen the trees, in the creek area. And we know they use creeks to get around now.
Yeah.
Right on.
So that's their little highways.
It's very interesting that, people, and we keep telling you guys, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, they are not at the very top of mountains at 10,000 elevation. No, they are down low. And the reason why they come down low is because they want to move to new territories. Either they're, want more food, companionship. So they're roaming around. So, and this happens
was in the summer, so they're probably looking for water too.
There you go.
Isn't there? I think if you go on BFRO, there's a sighting out there. It's not like that far
near
south.
Mendota.
Yeah, Mendota out in the slough. I mean, then that's nothing but fields like cantaloupe and
there you go.
And stuff like that out there. I mean, there's And I know they're following the canal. They have to in the San Joaquin River.
Now, Coalinga, they have, I think, a secret base up there in Coalinga, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So, secret bases and military installations, and you have creatures like Bigfoot, man, and that's like, there's got to be a connection there somehow. So
Probably escaped from the base.
there you go. So right on. All right, man. Oh, let's go to picture number 2. There's 2 pictures in this one, right?
Yeah,
Right.
one just shows the map of kind of where it was, and then the second one is the area.
Well, that makes okay. Well, look at there you go. This a dry creek, right? There you go. There is a dry creek right there. Shoot. Awesome. Okay.
Well, if it was like dirty brown, it could just lay down or squat down. It would look like a bush.
Yep. You're
From a distance.
Absolutely right on that. All right, going to picture number 3. Oh, picture number 3 didn't load for some reason. Sorry.
All right, it's just a picture of a huge house. This is from the Sasquatch Chronicles, dated December 1st. It's called Sasquatch in a Crate. And this is a story told to grandkids, a grandson and a granddaughter, by their grandfather. And he told them the story in 1991. He told them that he worked from the 50s to the 70s, he worked as a landscaper at the Duke Estates. And if you Google that, it's called Duke Farms. It's in Somerset County, New Jersey, in a town called Hillsborough. And the place is about 2,742 acre estate. And it's that big because they bought 40 farms around the area and just put them all together. And it has 20 miles of trails, 1,000 acres of walkable area, 11 international themed gardens. And it was home to one of the wealthiest women, Doris Duke, who at the age of 12 years old was a tobacco heiress, and she got a $300 million fortune. So she was living there. It was never open to the public, and it always remained a mystery to locals as what was behind the gates. And his grandfather said that he was in charge of manicuring the north lawn sections of the property, because they had different sections of the whole place because it was so huge. But he said in 1972, during a summer afternoon in August, he was told that he would have to work overtime that day because they needed him to receive a shipment that was coming in from Wisconsin. So they ended up rounding up 8 men to unload a crate that came in the middle of the night and they needed to offload it from the truck and take it into the garden area. And they told them that it was exotic trees. And when the crate came, it was about 8 feet tall and about 5 feet wide. So the men jumped up on the truck there and started to take it off the flatbed truck. And then as soon as they started pushing it, they heard a blood-curdling scream come from inside the box. So as they all jumped off the truck and, what the heck is in there? And the head groundskeeper said, "Oh, no, it's not trees. It's a black bear inside there," trying to keep it, whatever it was, a secret. And then most of the guys, except for 2, walked off the job, said that they didn't want to be mauled by no wild animal or anything. That's not what they signed up for, so they left, and including the grandfather, he walked off the job there. And only 2 men remained, and when they talked to the 2 men that stayed there that night, they told them that they had to get the crate off of the truck, and they used a dolly, and they dragged it into the garden compound. And as they were going into the garden compound, they dropped the crate, rolled off the dolly, and it cracked open on the side.
Great.
Yeah, and that's picture number 3. Picture number 2 is the crate, and then picture number 3 is what